Okay. Well, I thought Laura would come and say hello, and my neighbors, I hope you guys don't hear it, but my neighbors have decided that grinding once again on a Monday morning, very loudly is a great thing. Let me know, guys, in the comments if my voice matches me, because we've been struggling with that, where it's like the audio is different and I got to put a delay in. So if you let me know, then I know. Good morning, everybody. Good evening for a lot of you on, I guess, a Sunday for a lot of you, because most of you are in the West. But yeah, I made today's topic pretty obvious, moving to the Philippines. And that's because, well, let's be honest, like it's still the most questions you get is, like I get anyway, in emails and messages, is directly towards, I'm moving to the Philippines. What do I need? Where do I go, and everything else? And a lot of you guys know that. Oh, something says it's still off. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're gonna try to do that early because that helps. If I can put a bigger delay, and we'll see if that helps. I put a bigger delay. Let's hope that's 6. Maybe it will. The it's still a question. I made a website, thatparadiselife.com, where it like breaks down like where the best place to live, and then everything about each place, and where's the best hospitals, where do most expats go, where's the best neighborhoods. Like it tries to give you as much detail as possible about the places that are right for you. Yet my questions that come in are still the same thing. And so yeah, that is why um, I have to keep talking about it. I forget. Please forgive me for those who are like, well, how many times are you going to talk about this? And it's like, yeah, and I think it's because like on YouTube, people will watch YouTuber for some time, and then YouTube starts giving them other channels, and they drift off, and then maybe back again later. And but they're giving you constantly new people all the time too, so you're getting tons of different viewers who haven't potentially seen these things, right? Little closer. Hey, I like it. Okay, good, good. We're getting closer. Let's try 225. Bam. Now you just have to tell me if it's better or worse from previous. And then eventually we will get this, and then it'll be set. And we won't have to do this all this time, but I appreciate you guys very much. Um, yeah, so I'm going to wait because you guys are all still on the delay there, and see what you guys say after that. Thank you very much. Thank you. And so, yeah, you do need like your e-health or e-travel, but make sure you use the government one. I don't know if you notice, like when you go to Vietnam, Cambodia, anywhere, there's all these websites that say, oh, we'll give you the whatever, visa or whatever. Most of the times it's either free or far cheaper to go to the government, and they may be scams or they're just taking a big cut. But for example, the Philippines, it's completely free. The e-travel thing that you have to do is completely free. Do not use the first one on Google. That is not the right one. Look for the government. And yeah, and after that, you just need a return ticket, and if you within 30 days. And for a lot of people, they're like, yeah, but I want to come for 3 months. I want to potentially stay forever. Then just go to one of the throwaway tickets. So like onwardticket.com, not sponsored in any way, but it was $15 for me, and it gives you a real seat, real ticket, and but basically you're leaving a deposit on that seat of $15. And if you actually wanted to take that flight, you have to pay the difference. So that's like, like it's no big deal. So we call it a throwaway ticket for that reason. You're just going to throw it away. Why would you throw away a $400 ticket or not $500, $600 ticket? When you could just buy a $15 one. And I know people say, well, I can get one that's refundable that I can just keep, or not refundable, but that I can keep changing the flight. And I'm like, yeah, but for $15, you don't have to call anybody and change your flight too. Honestly, it's like so easy. So is it worth it? I don't know. I think money's better off in your pocket, but maybe not. Still a bit of lag. Okay, we're caught up to that point now, so we're gonna. But better or worse? Because I might be going too far the other way. That's the problem. I'm pumping it up again, though. Going up higher, higher, and higher. And another thing that might do it is it might be turn off the camera, turn it back on. Maybe that helps too. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let's see. I just changed it again. So let me see if that helps, guys. Appreciate it very much. Okay, so yeah, but that's all you need. And I don't think people realize that. They're thinking it's way more complicated than it really is. Get your e-travel. It used to be e-health, but now it's just e-travel, which is really simple. And you can just Google this. You don't even need me for that. And then fill in the thing with your flight number and everything. And then when you show up, you need to show your return ticket. And sometimes they don't ask for that, but the flight you're about to board to get to the Philippines will be like, no, where's your return ticket? We need to see it. It's a requirement of the Philippines. So it may not even be customs asking for it. It'll be them. And otherwise, yeah, that's it. It's really not hard. I don't know if you guys remember, but when I went to Vietnam, that was like a big scam and a pain in my butt, right? Because I'd applied 3 days before, and and at the end of the day, it was sitting as pending online. Catherine gets free. They, Filipinos can travel around Asia without visas, and then when I get to the airport, I'm like, I applied for this 3 days ago. And apparently you got to apply for these things like 2 to 3 weeks before travel. So no last minute travel to Vietnam. And so they said, you can't get on the plane. But it was a ploy. It's something that they do. I didn't know this at the time, that they do this to everybody. Not what it is. They have a fail rate that's automatic, which is crazy to me. And they have a system in there where like they'll just delay responding back to a certain amount, knowing you're going to show up at the airport. And then they say, okay, it's $300 US. If you go and show me you have $300 US, I'll let you on the plane. And I was like, ugh, where am I going to get US dollars? And found there is an ATM in the airport in Manila that you can get US dollars. So I had to go to that ATM, take it out, pay this crazy exchange rate. I'm a Canadian, and bring it back to them, show it to them. They took a photo of my face and they said, okay, somebody will get you when you get off the plane. And the guy was waiting with iPads, and there's a whole bunch of people with iPads, and everybody's faces are on it. And they're like, you're me, you're with me. And you go with that guy, you give him the 300 US, you get no receipt, no nothing. It's a bunch of crap. And they say, okay, now you're going to sit here all day until the foreign services or whatever approve this or whatever. And I was just like, wow. And so I ended up talking to everybody around me, and everybody had the same experience. One was from LaGuardia, one from Chicago. It's like every destination gets a few of these, maybe 2 or 3 of them. And it's just a thing. They do this across it. And then the funny thing is, so I paid the $300 and they approved me, and I had to sit there all day, lose a whole day of my trip. And I get in, and 2 days later, they reject it, saying you spelt your name wrong. And I'm like, no, it didn't. I'm looking right at it. You spelt your name as this, and that's incorrect. And I'm like, that is my name. So I do know that it's video is like, yeah, I don't know if that's better or worse. Sorry, guys. Yeah. It's not too bad, apparently, but I don't know which way that is, because I don't know how it started off. If my audio was ahead or if it was before there. So I don't know if we overcorrected. That's my point. Because I can only adjust the audio. I can put a delay on the audio. Huh. So I'm not sure now. You guys got me all confused. It shouldn't be this high. It should be lower than this. Let's try that. The chats went off. Anyway, so yeah, Vietnam pain in the ass. Anyway, I don't know how I got down that path other than it's, oh yeah, it was a lot easier to come to the Philippines than it is to go to Vietnam. That was a, and this guy saying the audio was perfect. I just changed it back. All right. I'm just going to leave it. I know it sucks. Okay, let me see if you guys have anything here, because it's, I don't know how many times I gotta say it's so easy to come here, and then you can just keep renewing. Like, yeah, people like they ask me and they're like, okay, but now what do I do? And I'm like, well, there's an immigration and pretty much driving distance everywhere you go. There's some little remote islands. You're not going to have immigration. You're going to have to travel every 2 months to go renew. They're still only on the 2 months. There's no more 6 months. They haven't brought it back or anything for renewals on the tourist visa. But 2 months, good to go. Now, you can do what I do. And I only started doing this maybe 6 months ago now. I gave JRC my passport and my ACR card. I just have photocopies, and their office just takes it and renews it for me, and I don't worry about it. It's not like nobody's driving around saying, "Show me your papers," right? So as long as you're not leaving the country or needing to go to immigration, you don't need to carry your passport around, especially once, like if you have a driver's license, you have other ID, right? But then once you're here for a while, I have my Philippines driver's license, so that's my ID everywhere anyway. And it stays in safekeeping this way. So it stays in their office in a safe, and every 2 months they bring it and they renew it. And right now I'm applying for the SRV courtesy with them. So there's a cost involved in that. It's so much cheaper just to go yourself. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it isn't, but yeah. Hey, Evans from Georgia, or is it just Evans, Georgia? Not sure. Hello, hello. All right, let's go. Hello, Russ. Good morning. Mr. Say It Right. Good morning from Ireland. Hello, brother. Hello, Michael Catton. Little Laura from Texas. Hello, Robert. Hey, Ralph, brother. How are you, buddy? Good morning. Good morning. Why is the title leaving the Philippines? It doesn't say that. Leaving for the Philippines, it should say. Don't tell me it says that. Don't tell me it says that. Hang on a sec. I need to see this. Does it really say that? No. Now you got me all confused. I thought it said leaving for the Philippines because it was about, that's the topic. People leaving for the Philippines. I'm pretty sure there would be like, hang on, sorry, that's not showing me the title here. It was late. No, it wasn't even late. I don't even have that excuse. Leaving to the Philippines. It doesn't say leaving the Philippines. No. No. You just read that wrong. Nah, I'm not leaving the Philippines. We're going to go on a trip eventually. But look, Catherine is not even capable of traveling locally right now. I'm going back to see our friend there, Bob, in Estancia to go show his place. And, he's got his whole solar set up so much that he has so much extra power, he powers the neighbor too. Anyway, and Catherine's just not able to come. She's in a lot of pain. So it's not getting that much better. Good morning, Mike and family. Hello, Phil. Billy, what's up? Condo living for me. There you go, Michael. Makes life simple. If you want to, especially if you want to travel or you want to go 6 months, there's nothing wrong with a condo, man. It's just if you're like settling down and everything, well, then again, there's different strokes for different folks. Because people in BGC that have settled down and they love their little condo life, but like I guess it's no different than me. I have this little tiny house here, right? Like I don't even know how many square meters it is. I think I figured it out. Like one way is only 8 feet and one's 14 or something like that, 2 floors. And really, the balcony is part of the second floor. So it's really small, right? But we're indoor-outdoor living. And if you're living in a condo, you're probably living in an area where you spend most of your time like around. If you're in BGC, there's lots to do, tons to do. And maybe you're not just sitting inside all the time. And even if you're a solo guy, maybe you just need a lazy boy, your TV, your internet, a microwave. Got to microwave those steaks. And a bed. I don't know. So different strokes for different folks. It's just I know there's a lot of people out in the West that are used to, like Texans, used to these big houses, lots of space, and 4 walls might be the opposite of what they're looking for. I do try to put myself in other people's shoes because of course, people want different things. Even when people are saying something completely opposite of my opinion of something, like I get it because I can put myself in their shoes and go, yeah, okay. If I were them and they had especially when people say dating in the Philippines is dangerous and horrible and they're all scammers and all that. I'm not agreeing with them, but I can put myself in the shoes of somebody who's been scammed, been treated and poorly, that kind of thing. And I can get why they have that personal opinion, because it happens all the time. All right, all right. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you guys want me to clap? That's a smart one, actually. All right, tell me, you ready? Are you ready, guys? I'll do one more. Was my hands touching before the sound or after the sound? There's the little angel. Yeah, she ran away, but yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I finally fixed it so that I can do widescreen and vertical. So you can have both. You get to choose. It's a new one that YouTube did, and I didn't set it up properly, so everything in my streaming software was showing like old storm videos. It was showing everything on the screen, and I figured it all that out. You made the recent video you made of the retirement community. It seems advantageous, I guess. You should go there. I know. Yeah. We're going to go back, right? Catherine and I have already talked to him, and we said, you know what? I want to try the 3-day, right? If you don't know, it's that free land thing or whatever. But the free land thing isn't going to last forever, right? It's just for the first few people because he wants to get a community started. And I've said this before to people, in that there are a lot of places that are empty because they don't have the marketing, they don't have and also like it's a lot to get the first people in. And then after that, it's easier to sell more people on the idea because, well, you don't move into a community that doesn't have anybody there. And so it's not a bad idea what he's doing. It's smart. You're going to put the first 5 people in for free. Sure, no problem. But it's 64 hectares. You make your money later. Let those people have the first 5 in. Let them feel like a community, be in the best spot, because that's the best spot, right in front of the marina or like that, with the beach there and everything. Like all the amenities are right by you. And it's because that's the area you want it to look popular. And so win-win, like everybody wins. This guy does not lose. And that's why I was like, actually, it's not a catch. You just have to understand, what does he have to gain? Well, he has everything to gain, because without those first 5 people, it's just not going anywhere. So anyway, we're going to go back. We said we're going to stay there for 3 days. But the problem is I can be very honest. Like, I still love Ross. I love it here. I love it here. We aren't going to be renewing. We knew this, right? Next June we will go, but we're really still set on, like, we have mountains here too in the city, and actually not only in the city but in Pueblo de Panay, which is the township, right? Which has got another level of security. It has no squatters or anything because it's all private, right? Like, this thing about townships, they're private, and so. And then they, like all the subdivisions in there. I don't want to be in a subdivision specifically, but they all have rules and all that. There's no roosters. There's none of this stuff going on in there. They have nice malls. They have the Gold's Gym that Catherine likes going to, and I'd probably go to if it was closer. I just don't like. I'm just like a haircut. I don't like going to get a haircut because it's just a pain in my butt. Imagine going to the gym every day. That sounds like work. I swear I just saw somebody sent a super chat, but it did not come up on my screen. And it's not even coming up in my chat. That is so strange. So if you did send one, I am terribly sorry. And it better show up soon, because that's not cool if that happened. I'm checking on my other spot here too to see if it showed up there. But if you did, thank you. Thank you. And I apologize, it's not showing up at all. But I do see people, it's saying all this thank you stuff on my screen. What does all that mean? I don't know. Maybe it's you guys subscribed. Either way, thank you. Thank you. I thought it was missing, but I think that's what it was. Anyway, so the community thing, the community, what we're thinking of is we're looking at property up there, and we're sort of negotiating. We're kind of like setting the groundwork. Like, we'd be interested, but it depends. And so they've showed us like 3 or 4 different places so far, because there's a lot of mountains there where I could see this in the distance. I could see the big Robinson Mall. I could be near everything, maybe depending where we end up, maybe not just walk there, but I could ride a bicycle there if I wanted to, like everything, and have like trees and a view and mountain and like this whole thing. And so like I wanted for a retirement community, but the money fell through the guy that might invest in it. And so that's what's going on. It's I'm still gonna go check this out. Never say never, but it's a big tough competition because I'm treated very, very well here. So hey, look at that, Antonio Banderas. Eh? I think I'm a little I'm not Spanish enough for that, but thank you. Better or worse, it feels like I'm not going to put it on the screen, Tom, but no, we don't. No, if you understand Filipinas, jealousy is a big thing. So we'll just leave it at that, Tom. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm gonna appreciate that, guys. I hope everything is getting better anyway on it. Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Alice in Chains, Metallica, Coming to the Rock. What? The Philippines, Manila, Subic, Cebu, Davao, Iloilo. Are you kidding me? How cool is that? Wow. Wow. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you. Now, I'm not going to talk about my ex, guys, but she lives in Manila. I live here. Leave it at that. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad maybe it is getting better right now. I don't think it's worse. I think social media makes things seem worse, right? It's like foreigners getting killed in the Philippines. But if you actually just looked at the data, you'd be like, oh no, there's actually far less. But because of social media, it feels, like if it happens, like it feels like, oh my God. And, but then if you look at how many foreigners were killed in America last year, or every month, or every week, who knows? So like, yeah, I think perspective gets lost with social media because it amplifies it. And so I don't think so. But I think scams as a general whole have continually getting better. The thing about the scams is like, even now, I got one recently and it was like BPI, hey, your 6,900 points are going to expire soon. And I was like, points? You don't get points. I don't get any points from BPI. And I know better. I don't, I'm not going to click on this link that apparently looks like it's BPI. But I go to my app and I click on the messages thing. There's nothing in there. And I know I don't have points. But then a few minutes later, a BDO, another bank here, right? Another BDO, your points are going to expire soon. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have BDO. And it's the same amount of points. And I want to get home that night. Catherine and Anne, who does the cooking here right now, because Catherine's not feeling well, they all got the same texts. And I'm like, oh my God, you know how many people probably clicked that in this country? Like, you know how many people gave away their login information to their bank accounts? Oh, because points, people love like things like that here. Like, and it comes in. The weird thing is you get that notification. It's always in a very specific. So all your like your two-factor stuff that they don't do two-factor anymore, but it's still in my memory of all that when they did the two-factor. Now it's all biometric, but it's all there. So it looks like it's coming from BPI. It looks like it's coming from BPO, that kind of thing, or BDO. So some scams, sure. And the biggest thing nowadays is because you have AI now, is I see Filipinos being scammed more than I ever did. I showed you guys in the past where they just post these pictures of these Western guys that are 50, 60 years old. And it's like, it used to be the worst because some guy in India and his English is poor. And he put in like, I come Philippine look for wife to take care of, and puts dollar signs on the picture in the four corners. And 10,000 comments and loves and shares and everybody, yes, please, me, sir. And so somebody's pulling some scams on Filipinos in that case. And so those have amplified so much now that there's now, you'll see it on YouTube. You see these channels and it's like this little old lady, she's in Boracay and she's been here for 17 years, and she tells a story. And for the first 10 seconds, it's her, or 6 seconds, whatever. It's just her, and she looks kind of realistic. And then the rest of it is all like either stolen drone footage or people walking footage or created from AI footage for the entire thing while she talks. And it's an hour long. And these channels are getting enormous views because people are thinking, wow, look at all these gray-haired old ladies. They're all living and retiring in the Philippines all over the place. And even in some of the footage, you're like, they go by all these restaurants and the patio, there's all these, retired gray-haired couples, 70-year-old couples sitting beside each other, both foreigners, all of them eating dinner and everything. And it looks so damn realistic, except for if you've been to the Philippines, that's not that's not here. What are you talking about? But it is so good. And now there's all these content creator guys on Facebook that they all you had to do is like this one Russian guy he has a picture. He's a real person, I think he is, and he takes a picture of himself. But then he has AI generate that he's in all these towns and cities, and then you just click and you can tell it's written by ChatGPT. But it's just this huge long thing with little happy faces throughout and everything, and it's all like super like Iloilo City, the city of love, the most beautiful place in the world where everything goes wonderful. And I've had so many wonderful, it's just this big, long story thing, right? And then you got like the mayors sharing it and everybody's sharing it. Well, Facebook pays even for photos. Now you need a lot, but guess what? These guys are getting 20,000 likes on a picture. So that guy's making $18, $20 just for posting a picture, but he's not doing it. And then every once in a while, and this is the only reason I think he might be real, is then he's just on a jeepney and he's doing a live stream, it says, who knows? Like you can fake a live stream. But he does them for like 20 minutes, but all he does is just stare at the camera and people are asking and saying things to him and he just stares and he never says anything. He looks around and everything, don't get me wrong. He does all this, but he never even says hello. Just nothing. And it's just like, I don't think, maybe he doesn't speak English. He looks Russian. That's why I said Russian or Ukrainian, something like that. Anyway, that guy is making $2,000 a month on Facebook, playing into it, but it's 99% scam. I'm sorry, it is. It's just AI generated slop crap, and that is everywhere. So I don't think it's Philippines. I don't think there's more scammers like what you would imagine. This is the AI now, and people are like, they see somebody be successful, they go ask ChatGPT or whoever to bring them into that position. And so that's going to be a whole thing. It's going to happen for a long time. The live stream is usually widescreen. Yes, there's 2 streams going on right now. Sorry, Billy. If you go to my channel, there's 2 live streams right now. One's vertical, one's this way. So you can have it both ways. Let's see. Oh, yeah, somebody else already pointed that out. Thank you very much. Hey, Mike, I've been watching for about 6 months. I landed Manila September 1st, then heading to Iloilo because of your videos. Hey, fantastic. Yeah, and even in Iloilo, where you go in Iloilo will change everything about how well you enjoy that city. Because I've had people go there and they're like, ew, don't even like that city. What are you talking about? There was nothing to do. I had nowhere to go and all that kind of stuff. And but I asked them where they went, and they were like in the downtown core. Well, downtown core at 5 o'clock is dead, dark. Like it's just businesses down there and like the schools and everything. And then everybody goes, so everybody goes to the restaurants and everything. And honestly, you got to be above that river. And don't go to if you go to the far end of Haro, there's nothing going on over there. There's, or if you pick a lot of these places that are in the north of the city, that's like the suburbs, right? And so they're not even part of Iloilo, but they have the nice rentals and nice houses, nice communities, but there's nothing to do there. You got to drive into the city just like in the suburbs of any city. And so, yeah, you got to go where the hot spots are, like Festive Walk and even SM's okay, but it's not as walkable, but you can still, there's a lot there, don't get me wrong. And then the ALI area, which has got also Smallville, so that whole area. But sometimes the cheaper places are just not in a walkable, fun good place, to be honest. So be careful, be careful. But there's a lot of Airbnbs in Vestawalk. You should be able to do that. All right, let me go back to this here. And somebody was a member for a long time. I saw that. That was cool. Ooh, 11 months. Reg. Yes. Hi, Mike. Good morning. How old do you think is too old to start over in the Philippines? Did you see my last video there, or whatever, when I had got the haircut? And while I was getting my haircut, watching this podcast, and it's this Harvard doctor for this research study that they're doing, and it's FDA approved. And well, it's an FDA study. I shouldn't say it's approved. And they've already done it on mice. They've done it on everything, and now they're going to be starting human trials and everything. But they are certain they've reversed aging. They will bring you back to 25 years old. And so he's like, basically, he was saying, stay alive and healthy for 8 more years. They may have already invented it, but they can't release it to you. They have to go through human trials, all that stuff. So it's always like a 10-year window, right? Unless they do some kind of warp speed thing on it. But maybe none of that matters anymore. Maybe none of that's going to matter, is my point to this one. How old is it too old to start over? Anyway, so we have my friend Paul here. Paul is in his 70s. I don't remember his exact age. I apologize to Paul. And, you know, he had mobility problems. He was, you know, he was getting up there. And he's mentioned already in the videos, but I got to bring him on again because you guys got to, like, his life has turned around. He now walks freely. Like he's healthy. He has a great girlfriend now, and he's got a great life. And he loves dancing. If you remember this guy, the ballroom dancing and everything. And he goes ballroom dancing on Friday and Saturday nights, and they're like a clique now, and they just have, he's like, you saved my life. And I'm like, I didn't save your life. It's one thing to say my camera saw what you really wanted to see. I get that. But please don't say I saved your life. I didn't save your life. My camera's just in the right place, right time, that kind of thing. And yeah, but anyway, his life absolutely changed. And so somebody who, you know, but then I've seen people in their 40s, 50s, they have a heart attack and they go, right? So I honestly, just go. I'm like that kind of person, you know? Yeah, things can happen to you. Yeah, you can have a heart attack and not be able to get the health care in time. You can do, you know, lots of things can happen to you, but I don't know. How you live your life is up to you and your risk value or whatever. You know, that's another thing. So that same research discovered that we all have a gene. So everybody in the West, right? Like Canada, America, anywhere we were colonized a long time ago, the people who were descendants of those colonies all were more likely to have this gene that allows us to take risks. That also makes us greater gamblers, by the way. But so there's negatives and positives to everything. But this risk gene is why America has so many entrepreneurs and has like so many successful businesses, everything, because you were willing to risk everything in order to be very successful. Where people without that gene, always protecting a certain point, they will take smaller risks, that kind of thing, but they always have that little foundation that they're protecting and holding on to. And the funny thing is for Asia, they said, just Asia as a whole, only 2% of the population that were out of the studies that were done have that gene, that risk gene. Where places like America, Canada, so like England, no, because they didn't. They said it was probably, you know, it's just like the battle of the fittest and all that stuff, you know, when evolution and everything. The people who were willing to sail all the way across an ocean to start a new life took the biggest risks ever, way back, you know, in the day, 1700, 1600, whatever. The descendants of those people, well, of course they had that gene. They had the gene where other people are like, hell no, I'm staying in England. I'm staying in France. I'm staying in Spain, that kind of thing. So now that part, they can't prove that part, but that seems logical is what the doctor had said for the research doctor. So, and he is one of the world's leading. So anyway, really blew me away, that whole podcast. Sorry, I got way off. 10 p.m. here, Montreal. So right now, by the time you said that, it was 10 a.m. We're 12 hours exactly right now, which makes it so easy. 12 hours is great. Why are Canadians overrepresented in Philippines YouTubers? Well, there's me, Scotty. I get there's there's a lot of smaller ones, I guess, but I don't know of like the really big ones. Um, if you say like 80,000 above 100,000, whatever. Uh, I think English and European, like that kind of thing. There's quite a few more of them. Yeah, and Sweden, you got one. Hey, you got. Oh yeah, sorry, Kulis. Kulis is Canadian. But then there's somebody bigger even than Kulis, and that he's Hungarian, Hungary, no, Syrian, Hungary Syrian, yeah, or something like that. And his is like 5 million subscribers, so he's from Syria. So no, I don't think so. Maybe YouTube's just delivering you the Canadians. Mabuhay, somebody had said. Sorry, it jumped on me right as I clicked that. Mabuhay. Hey, look at this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Michael Onstad, thank you, brother. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Just sent somebody to you last night. They trying to figure out their health insurance, and they were so concerned about not private hospitals not being able to direct bill with their insurance company, but he's like, public hospitals. He tore his ACL or something like that. He was saying, and he's like, doesn't seem like they'll take private insurance at the hospitals. And I'm like, well, private hospitals are more likely than not to say, no, cash. You can go ahead and submit your receipts and you'll get paid. But I said, maybe Michael Onstad will be able to help you. Thanks for the super chat, Michael. And what's this? Reg. Okay, this is what Reg is famous for. 10 of you have just become a member of the channel. Thank you very much, Reg. Thank Reg, please, if you've got a free gift membership. It's random, by the way. Reg didn't get to pick, so don't go, hey, Reg, you didn't give me one. It's not his fault. Laura, are you going to come say hi? I saw her. She wanted to, and then she ran away. Here, come say hey, thank you to Reg. Come say thank you to Reg. Wow, you're sweatier than me. Yeah. Say thank you, Reg.
Thank you, Reg.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Reg. You doing okay? Yeah. You running around a lot, eh? Yeah. I'm making her Canadian, by the way, if you didn't notice. All this Canadians, Anyway, I'll get back to the comments. Sorry, guys. I've gotten so many emails, so many messages. And I've been trying to figure out, I'm not trying to start anything, and I don't want to start anything. If you looked on the live stream, I was perfectly normal. Okay, everything was normal with him because I was rushed, right? Like that's the day I lost my phone at a construction site and I had to go. And so I came back and she's like, Scotty's at the bar. And I'm like, where's my phone? And then she called it and all that. So we raced over there and said, listen, I can't stay. I just found out my phone's an hour and a half from here. The guy's going to leave the construction site if I don't get there in time. I got to go get my phone. This is a horrible timing, but I just wanted to say hi. So that happened, right? So that was on his phone, for his live stream. Okay. But then he's like, hey, can I just quickly before you go, with his like GoPro, DJI, same as me, basically. I think he has the 5, I think it said. And he doesn't have it on a gimbal or anything, like he just holds it in his palm, right? And I said, of course. And so this is what happened. This whole thing was, 30 seconds probably, is he picked it up and it still appeared off. So my camera, when I'm recording, there's the red light on the back. The camera goes beep, when it's on, because I wait for the pause. Like when I press mine, I wait the few seconds for it to beep and the screen comes on. Now I know I'm recording. But his stayed black. Nothing. None of the screens come on. The button didn't go on. Nothing. And it's in his palm like this. And I'm like, so I look confused. That's what it is me staring at it going, and he's starting to talk. And I'm like thinking, your camera's not on yet, right? But then I remember it's Scotty Boy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Most people don't realize they're being recorded by Scotty Boy. It is what it is. No, you can make your own judgments on it, but I had no idea it started yet. I'd still kind of, like, first few seconds there, I'm like, and he's talking, but I'm like, there's something wrong here. It hasn't turned on yet. And then I was like, okay, good supporting Scotty. That's why. That's why. But if you look on the live stream, it was totally normal, which was seconds before that. So take what we will with that. Yeah, that's a new thing now. YouTube is putting it in vertical and putting it in horizontal. Well, they give you an option. I'm like, okay, well, whatever, do it. I don't care. You can reach more audience. But yeah, please, if you guys watch on your TV, please make sure you're getting the widescreen, or if you prefer to watch it on the widescreen, I'm offering both. It's better than when we were just doing the vertical, because YouTube was pushing that. They were like trying to get everybody to put it into the short stream, all the live streams, right? And so at least now you have the option. Both of them are available. Grab whatever one you like. 3 of the top 5 YouTubers. I don't think so, but maybe the ones that YouTube is delivering to has been Canadian. That's probably what it is. But they're like, there's YouTubers 500,000, 700,000, 250,000, 5 million, 1.5 million. There's a lot. It's just no, it's a lot. It really isn't. But there's probably 12 foreign vloggers in the Philippines currently, not guys that jump all over the world and stopped here for a few, but maybe 10 to 12 of us. And it's true then. Well, I don't know if Scotty's at 100 yet, but either way, let's just put him in there. But he's leaving, apparently. We'll see. But anyway, so you would say it is like 3. So it could be like 30%, which is crazy when you think about it, because America is 10 times the size of Canada. I don't know. Maybe people like Canadians. I don't know. Good morning from Bacolod City. Hello, Craig. Minnesota, USA here. Was in Cebu all of June. Can't wait to get back to the Philippines. Fantastic. Kat is doing great. Thank you very much. She's in a lot of pain. Don't get me wrong. But like, we check her blood pressure, everything else. She's doing great, and she's walking a bit. She cooked last night, but she was in a lot of pain afterwards. But nothing like where she couldn't even move. Juggle Wonder admitted he don't like to mingle with other people. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. There you go. Well, you can tell. How often does he ever see him talk to other people, right? Like, other than people working and stuff. What can he be? Where's I was there for 3 minutes of the whole time. He just stopped in and left. So, hello from Kentucky. Hello, Chris. I don't like skyscrapers. There you go. How much is the land lease in your area? So there isn't really that, but it doesn't mean it isn't. We have no publicly, like, it's rare, right? Like, it's rare to find anybody willing to lease land other than for commercial. Commercial is very normal, but they just don't know if it's a thing. Filipinos would never do that. I think for the most part is they just buy land, because here you can get a mortgage on just plain land. So they can go to their bank and borrow on a 1 million peso land deal and pay like 2.5 million probably over the term of it. And so that's why all these subdivisions, they sell these lots to people that they have very low paying jobs, yet they own a lot, but they can get a mortgage. As crazy as that might sound, we can't get mortgages on an empty piece of land, right? At least as Canadians, you can't get mortgages on empty land. So that's a thing here. So they don't think of it that way. So you have to go and propose it. You go to the person and say, listen, you want 10 million pesos or whatever. I'm just picking a random number. 10 is easy to say. So say this big piece of land, they want 10 million pesos. He's got it up for sale. It's been sitting for 2 years. And you just go to him and you say, listen, you have grandchildren? Yeah. Okay. I'll give you 8 million pesos, but it's mine for the next 50 years. Your grandchildren will one day get the property back. But I want to lease the land. It's not renting the land. people might mistake that going, oh, why can't I just rent it for 50 years? Well, because whatever you agree on today, it's not going to be like, nobody's going to say, okay, fine, give me $200 a month. You can have my land and honor it in 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, when $200 is worth a penny. It's just not. That's just not, and it's not going to hold up anyway. They'll just not renew your rent, or something like that. But when you do, I can't remember the actual term. Maybe somebody can put it in the comments. The long-term leases here under Philippines law, it has a specific. It's like suffocate, but it's not. Suffocatory. I totally screwed that one up. It's a term, and that is where you would pay. Now, it may not be 80%, but generally it's 80% of what it would sell for. But they give up, like it's put on the title that it's your exclusive use, and you make sure it gets put on the title, your exclusive use to 20, what are we at? So 2075 or whatever, what it is. You're not allowed to go over 50 years, and legally it's supposed to be 25 years plus a 25-year renewal. So check with a lawyer on that. But then the executive order that still stands, which was many presidents ago, sets it at 50-year max. How you get around it is if you have an Airbnb, you have a resort or something on the property, then you can fall under commercial, and you can live on your own commercial business. Then commercial is 99 years. But you just don't see people publicly doing it. You are seeing some retirement communities or people who have a large vast of land who are like, wanting to start a retirement community. There is like a 3 or 4 people thinking about it, or at least publicizing it. I just have never seen anybody like Nelson there who has already sunk that much money into it, and it's good to go, right? Like he's got enough solar power now that he doesn't need to expand, even though a bunch of people build the houses. The electricity is going to be there, and it'll be free. He's got that. He's got the water collection arranged and everything, so that he doesn't need to expand for right now. Even if a bunch of houses came, he'll have to expand as he goes. But he's ready. Where everybody else has just got the empty land, and they're like, yeah, we'll put roads in, and we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do this. If you want to come in on this community and lease, but they're asking you to help them start it essentially. Where Nelson's not asking you to help them start it. It's done. The roads are in. Marina's there, like all these amenities are there. Go ahead and just put your house up. Do it here, and you'll be connected to our power line, our water line, everything. Like, yeah, that's where it's special. I lived on the 53rd floor in Mississauga, Ontario. I had a 44th floor. But yeah, 53rd floor was the last one that if anybody watched early on, they would have seen. And yeah, it's pretty cool to me, but I get it. Catherine can't even, she won't go on a balcony in some of these places, right? Hands after sound 1 second. That's a big after. So clap. That means the delay is too big, guys. And 40, well, by the time you're reading this, are you ready? Is that better? Let me know. Please. Thank you. Let's see if that helped. Yeah, this one said 25 milliseconds. All right. Never mind. Wait. Okay, that one, the last one you guys just heard. So say the first one or the second one. Are you ready? I'm going to change one more thing. I'm going to go back to a different number. And how's that? Woo! Thanks for helping me here, guys. I appreciate it. Don't worry about the sound. Yeah. I love the community. Do they sell? Yeah. So he will, out of his 64 hectares, he's going to have these little 200 square meter lots that he's offering for free. But that was to get the place set up. But he is open to, if you want to buy a big thing in there, all he cares about is, does it benefit the community? All right. Like I said, he wasn't motivated by the money. And so if you go in there and you're like, oh yeah, I want to build something that doesn't really add up to making the community a better place or being a community at all, then he's going to be like, no, thanks. right? Like, doesn't matter about the money. But if you wanted, you wanted a farm homestead and stuff like that, well, then you're gonna live in it and everything. Yes, of course he's interested. But if you want to build a resort in there, he's going to be like, no, I want this. I don't want people that we don't know coming and going. And next thing you know, you have karaoke and loud noises and stuff like that. And so he that's the only thing. But he has tons of white sand beach property all the way down. Like, he took us right after that. He's like, well, let me show you this, and like white sand beach. And he's like, yeah, so I have 30 hectares there, and then he has this. He has a lot. There's places all over, very close by. But to be in that retirement community, it should be a retirement community related thing. Now, if you want a ranch or you want anything, he's down with that too. But it should fall under. U.S. has lots of cheap farmland. Honestly, the United States has some of the cheapest lands in the world, like Arizona, stuff like that. You can get land for $5,000. $5,000 for a couple acres. Like, really, you can't compare it to the Philippines. When I think it was Arizona, pretty sure all of the Philippines land put together, if we put it on one piece, fits into Arizona. But you have 110 million people. It's and then it's islands separated. But there are land here. Don't get me wrong. There's land here you could probably get 10 pesos per square meter, 20 cents, something like that. You don't have to pay 10,000 per square meter. You don't have to pay 2,000 per square meter. You can, but you just be in the middle of nowhere. That's all. All right. Thanks, Ralph. Appreciate it. Saw that. Hi from New York City. Hello, Christine Fraser. Hello. You guys getting tested before getting with each other? Get tested and make them get tested. There's a lot of crap out there, especially in the places. Yeah, I guess like I never dated, right? Like, there was no dating. If you were dating and everything back in Canada, that was a normal thing. No sex before tests. I did that for the longest time with my partners. You'd have to provide your lab test, and but then there's no getting like, some of these tests are culture based, right? So you need culturing. I don't remember how long it was, 3 to 5 days, or is it a week, or maybe it's 2 weeks? I don't even remember. But yeah, it's a process. So there's no sex on your first date, obviously, if you want to have that procedure. Anyway, since then though, we both had blood work, so we're both good, and it's been years now. So, but no, we didn't do it here. But you're right. You're back in Canada, man. I was so strict, but that's because I was dating, right? Like, I'm thinking before I got married the last time. I was single from 30 to 45. Yeah. 15 years. And so I just dated. And so I held that strict rule when I dated. But now it's like, I got lucky. Let's see, where are we? YouTube is full of it. Yeah, and they're cracking down though. I think this is a very short period of time. It's not like they can't detect it. They can detect it. And so YouTube did a whole, like, shut down so many channels. And that when people write me, they're like, everybody's considering it now. They're all like, oh, I could start a YouTube channel. I'll do this with the AI stuff and everything. I'm like, don't. They will demonetize. They won't monetize you, because they're just going to, when you get monetized, what they do is they check out all your content that you use to get all your views that you qualify for. And if they detect copyright and AI. And so AI is allowed, but it has to be following a bunch of rules. And the biggest thing is either the voice or the picture or the video, whatever, must be real. One of those must be real. You can't use an AI voice with an AI video and then put it on YouTube and be monetized. So, monetization determines everything. That's how, without monetization, people just won't spend the money on AI and time and effort and everything else. So, I don't know. I think they will have it locked down soon. But Facebook's got to do it on pictures. They're doing it on video now. They're detecting AI. But they got to do on pictures too. How old are you now, Mike? Reg, look at this. Look at these gray hairs. I'm 51, brother. I don't get the gray hairs here. This is why I keep dyeing my beard. I know you guys some of you guys like to make fun of me, but I'm like, nah, man. I just want what does it say? You want the carpet to match the drapes or something like that, you know? So I just like, if this had the same, I would be like, nah, cool, salt and pepper. People love salt and pepper. You know, people like, who was that guy? It was Mike. Yeah. He would dye his gray hair, like he would put gray in his hair because he was in his 30s. And he's like, because he gets more respect because he looks more mature. And he would do that on purpose. Can't remember his last name, but anyways, he was a YouTuber here in the Philippines. He had 500,000 subscribers, but now he went, I think he lives in South Africa or something like that. But he would do that just to look older, wiser. And he's like, girls like, you know, that. Or if you look too young, they're like, you don't have any money. That's probably why. Oh, it jumped on me again. Sorry, hang on a second. But thank you, Reg. There you go. 51, brother. 51 years old. Old, brother. Old. Yeah, here you go. Thank you, guys. Awesome, Reg. Oh, look at this. Another one? RB. All I got is RB. RB, you didn't even, if you have a message in here, RB. Oh, I just see one right here. Thank you for the $10. I'm going to go to your message, though, but thank you for the $10. Just look up CTEC on AI average, $800. Like now, how someone got the 575 price. I'm going to look it up. Nothing comes up for that type of price. Do we got a spelling mistake in there, maybe? Is that what's going on? On AI, average $800. See, man, you give me a super chat. Because Canada is cold. Yeah, and it's friggin' expensive. It is beautiful. Absolutely is beautiful. I love camping in Canada. Don't get me wrong, I loved Canada. Canada has a lot of opportunity, especially if you're like in Ontario, for example. Jobs are plentiful. Man, if I had stayed, you know, like I could have moved to another company and named my price. You know, like it's not like you can't make more money. But, you know, at that point, like after your $60,000 that you're paying, say, 35% tax on, after that, it's all 53% the government takes from you. It just doesn't feel like you want to do that. You know, the best thing is to own your own business, you write everything off, right? You just write everything off, show practically no profit sort of thing. But when you're working for other people, man, it's just, and the stress was hell. You know, I like we're Germany, where bosses weren't allowed to text you after 5 o'clock, or they go to jail, that sort of thing, right? So, yeah, I did remember Kulis. Yes, definitely. Yeah, he's a big deal. He's not like the same, right? Like he's not a expat vlogger. Does that make sense? He's becoming Filipino. He's exactly what he is. But he's not, this is how you get a visa. This is what it's going to be to move here. This is what the rent's going to be here. You know what I mean? Like he's literally becoming Filipino. He shows you this is what it's like if as a Canadian to live the Filipino life. So that's okay. Billy, brother, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I appreciate you very much. That's all good. It's all good. You forgot to put your YouTube. No. I meet people all the time, every day, walking on the street, whatever. No, it's not that. Just like I said, I'm standing there going, there's something wrong here. Your camera's not working. It's not recording. So anyway. Bam. Reg, once again, 2 minutes. 2 minutes for looking so good. Thanks, Rich. Thanks. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Thank you. The scallops are friggin' fantastic. They're not that big though. They harvest them too soon. I'm gonna be very honest. Same with the mussels, the oysters. You know, mussels, oysters. Why am I mixing them up? Oysters. So we have this one like farm. They come farms. They're out in the ocean. So, but you know, they have the lines that run down to the ocean and they pull them up. Anyway, they wait the longest, so they're really big. But everybody else you buy from, you're like, little shells like this big. Like, leave them to grow longer. But money today is worth, for a lot of these people, is so important. It literally feeds them that day that they just won't let it grow big enough. That's the same with scallops and everything. It just, you're getting them too quick. But because I do know, like in America, you can get those big fat scallops, right? It's hard to find here. Amigo, what's up? What's up, Michael? I'll be landing at the end of October. Fantastic. You know, you keep changing your, well, you didn't change your name in this case. You just changed your profile pic to a nice AI picture here. Brother, I'm looking forward to you coming. I'm looking forward to it. I have a feeling October, November, December, man, I was just talking to somebody and they're like, oh, we actually have some apartments available right now, but there's nobody really looking. And I'm like, yeah, it's August. You know, a lot of my friends that lived here, they've gone back for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. They're coming back, but they've gone back to Canada or that kind of thing. You know, it's beautiful weather right now in Canada, that kind of stuff. But they're coming back. They don't want to be there in the winter. And so, yeah, it's like cyclical. So right now you really do have your pick and choice. But 2 months ago, you did not have a pick and choice of rentals in the city. No, God, no. You were just begging to find anything. Now's the time. Thank you, brother. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Looking forward to seeing you. And we haven't decided on years yet, by the way, if we're going to go to the city. I know other people had asked me, and I know they already made the reservations and all that. And I'm like, I just don't know. Just at this point, I just don't know. Yeah, title should be good. You got to get a good lawyer. And you want it added to the title that it says for the exclusive use of this person until this date. And your lease also has to be like locked down and notarized and filed, and you want everything. And it has to have, you have to be able to sell it or pass it on if you die, that kind of thing. You need the transfer rights. You absolutely need the transfer rights. But it is a good deal. In a country that you can't build a house, you can't own land. I mean, if you can't own land here, it isn't a bad deal. I know. On one hand, I'm like, now it's like, damn, they're probably going to figure out aging and reverse aging. They already say they already have, but it's not, you know, it's being tested on, it's only been proven on animals so far. But, and then I'm talking about, but then again, 50 years is a long time to be in one place. You're probably ready to go and do something else. And money may not mean a whole lot to you in 50 years either. So, the whole world's changing, guys. Most of the shorts on Facebook are AI generated. Yeah. And they're getting technically better. They are. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy how easy it is now to make good content on Facebook. On the AI. The whole world's going to change. You won't know who to trust. Thankfully, people like me will actually be seeked out, I think. The ones that, like, this is like a talking head video right now. So this could be replaced by AI, sort of, right? But when you're showing people in real life what things look like, people will be seeking that. Because AI can fake a drone footage, fake anything, fake talking heads, all that stuff. But if you're actually considering going to move to that place, travel to that place, whatever, you're going to want to know what it actually looks like. And this will be like one of the bastions of places that you can actually still find the true view of what it looks like. So when we walk down a road and showing you with the camera will be your real true view. And it's going to be crazy outside of that. AI will just be, it will be able to beautify anything, make it everything. Literally, in the Philippines, they have laws that say you can't be negative, right? And so I wonder if AI will read that and go, oh, I can't say anything negative. And I'm not saying anything negative, but my camera's showing you the true picture when I walk around or go to places. It's showing you can see it. You don't have to listen to my words. Just look behind me. Look, whatever I'm pointing at. Make your own judgment. That's cool. I always tell people I'm the guy that's always positive. I have a great outlook on life. I always try to find in everything. Like Catherine's like pessimistic sometimes, and I'm just such an optimist. But that's just me naturally. But you have the advantage of looking at the whole picture in the camera. Like you can say, you don't like it here in Rojas, okay. But you can also look behind me, right? Like, does this look so terrible? No, I'm not saying it's the most picture perfect in the whole wide world or anything, but it ain't that bad. We all have perspectives that are all based on our history and where we've been and what we've done. Any tips on the best price on airfare? No, I do. I really wish I did. I actually don't know. I haven't flown out of this country in so long, and I'm lazy. I just go to Cebu Pacific or whoever has the most flights in my city, and I just go to their app and I just pay it. I'm going to be honest. It's pretty cheap here, right? So, like, generally, I haven't. When's the last time we flew anywhere? I think it's been 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, something like that. So I don't think about it that much, I'm going to be honest. But maybe other people in the comments, they know how to get the best deals, like that kind of thing. I heard nowadays AI is actually really good at this, in that but it's all in your prompt and how you ask it. But if you're like, I want you to look up every trick and tip on how to get me the cheapest flight from here to there, research in everywhere, check Reddit posts, confirm every one of those ways work, run a test across, whatever. It'll run for like 15, 20 minutes. It'll run this huge thing where it's literally checking at thousands upon thousands of data points, and then come back and give me a clickable link where I can book that for the lowest price possible. And if you say all that in the way I just said it, it'll do it. It'll do it. I heard, there's no point in you trying to beat an AI anymore. You can just, can't beat them, join them. Well, that might be it. That might be it. 20-ish days and counting until I'm homeless. Man, welcome to the homeless group. I love it. I love it. I thought I would be afraid. I wasn't. That was the weird thing. Like, selling everything I own, and I was like, you watch it, like your rooms would empty, right? I had like all these empty bedrooms, and just like everything was emptying out, and the living room was getting so small. And I'm selling to Craigslist, or it's not Craigslist so much in Canada. It was I don't know, the eBay one that they own, and I don't remember it anymore. And I would get rid of the stuff, and I had a huge gun collection. Legal, by the way, legal. Back when Canada allowed people to have handguns and everything else. It was actually COVID where they started taking everybody's guns away. And so I guess I sold them at the right time, eh? Anyway, and so going through the whole process and just your whole life emptying out. But honestly, like, it was like little things falling off your shoulders as you go too. It wasn't a bad thing. I'm not a minimalist that much, I guess. You see, we have a small place, but we packed the damn thing, and I don't go without. And yeah, and I thought I'd be like, and then the car. Well, that was the hard part. Like, my SUV, when I sold that, well, now what? Like, that's it. I have to go now. Like, I didn't live downtown Toronto or anything. I lived in like Mississauga, Waterloo, Guelph, that kind of thing. When we left, I think it was Guelph, or no, Waterloo. And like, I'm not going to take buses. Like, they're not convenient. Like when you live outside of big cities, there's nothing convenient about that. And that was it. I got to go now. And I think it was just a few days later, then take a taxi or Grab, that kind of thing. Or not Grab, it was Uber, and go to the airport and then just go. And you just got these 2 suitcases, you're pulling them, and there's nothing left. And I thought it would be a big deal. But it wasn't. It wasn't. It was so cool. It was exciting. Just went to Cambodia, sat in a quarantine hotel for 2 weeks straight, not allowed out of your room, and they lock you in there. And then they bring you rice and some terrible meat looking thing for 2 weeks straight. And then they let me out. And then they went crazy on their restrictions. So I got out of that country. But after 2 weeks in quarantine, then 2 weeks wandering around the country, and then I got out. But then I spent, a year in Albania just free with only just 2 suitcases. You buy a couple little things, shirts or whatever, that kind of thing. But I didn't really buy very much. Well, no, that's not true. I opened a business in Albania though, because you had to. It's the only way to get permanent residency there, and you can't be a tourist there if you're not American for more than 3 months. So I had to do something. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's almost like I want to feel that again, just like you're feeling it right now. I want to do that again, but it wouldn't be the same. I could leave here, but that wouldn't be the same. I love it here anyway. I don't want to be anywhere else. LAX direct flight right now is an $800 range. Whew. That sounds reasonable, is it? And look at that. I got it. Oh, 700 per rare. Okay. That sounds really reasonable. As a Canadian, like flights, I remember returns were like 7,000, 6,000. That was COVID. So I don't remember looking ever since then. Greetings from Anchorage, Alaska. The wife and I enjoy your videos. Prayers to your wife. Thank you very much, Kevin. And Anchorage is, I haven't been. Have I been to Anchorage? No. I've been to Skagway, Alaska. But I haven't been because I was in the Army base, about the Canadian Forces Northern Area, Yukon. And we had a recce up through the mountains and down, and then we ended up in Skagway, and it was the coolest little town. It looks like something out of the 1870s or 60s, like cowboys and westerns. And it was so cool. But then gigantic cruise ships at the end. That's all I know about your Alaska. But Yukon's kind of big. Got to be kind of the same. For the record, we know whether age reversal in humans is possible in a couple of months. The first human trials are taking place. Oh, there you go. For glaucoma now, for anyone interested. Yeah, David Sinclair. Thank you very much. That is the doctor. David Sinclair. You can look it up. And it's incredible how fast everything is flying now. AI may give you the AI slop. It may give you all that shit there. But it can make calculations that would take us thousands of years. And like even our best computers weren't able to do that just a few years ago. We're not even talking about quantum computing here. We're talking about just telling a billion, maybe not a billion, but yeah, I guess, yeah. But you can test like a billion parameters all at the same time, sort of thing, in a very short period of time. It's just crazy. Everything's going to change, guys. Everything. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Great, fantastic. I am probably way behind, so I'm going to stick to a little more comments. But anyway, no classes in Metro Manila. How is it there in Rojas City? It's absolutely beautiful, as you can tell. We've been barely getting any rain. We've got no storms. Knock on wood, guys. I don't know what to say. I know that this is bad for farmers. I know it's really bad. Like, where's the rain? Right? We get a little bit. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's drought, but it's just hot every day. But we're not getting, like, this is not rainy season. This is very strange. Well, it's not strange. We expected it. Greetings from Newmarket, Ontario. What's up? What's up? I used to have a booth at the Newmarket Flea Market. It didn't do very well. My one in Stouffville did way better. I used to buy and sell silver and gold on the weekends for the hell of it. I had a good time with that. And old currency and stuff like that. I love doing stuff like that. Hi, Mike. Hope all is well with you and the family, and hope gets better soon. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning from Butuan City, Mindanao. Good morning. I've never been there. Got to go there. I like staying in West Fargo while going to Rolog Steam Tractor Show. That sounded like a rhyme there, brother. Rolog Steam Tractor Show. I've been to Fargo once, but I never saw your tractor shows. I was 2PP CLI. Who did you serve with? I was in, so you're in Princess Patricia? Yeah, no, I was just in the reserves. And so the part where I was in Skagway and Yukon there, I was in the baseboard and Army cadets back then. And so I was their staff. I was staff for the Army cadets for the summer. That was the time I was up there. But yeah, no, I was based out of Georgetown when I was in the reserves, the militia, not for very long, by the way, and because I split my knee open. But yeah, it was good. I was destined to be in full reg forces, but I never finished high school, so they wouldn't let me in. I loved Army cadets, man. I was big in Army. I was chief warrant officer. My Army cadets, a huge number. At the high 180 cadets under us, and then and it balanced out because I did a huge recruiting thing. Yeah, it's still balanced out at over 100, and it was really big cadet corps. Well, we were on a military base Borden, so it was cool. So yeah, when I was staff there, and Ipperwash was my other staff, and then that's when the Indians came in and took back the whole base. Anyway. If you're married, you can be covered as a dependent of wives' PhilHealth. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not married though. And but then if you're married, I'm pretty sure she has to include your income and how much you pay for PhilHealth. So you can have it, but you have to have it both ways. And so that can make your PhilHealth very expensive all of a sudden. I could be wrong, but if they're going to cover you, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Catherine's only 9,000 pesos a year. But that's because the Beaver lost money. So she showed her zero revenue, her zero income for last year because it was a negative, because she lost. Actually, I don't even know if you're allowed to show loss. Whatever it was, it was a little enough that it came to 9,000. Much better with the widescreen. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, definitely. Unless you're watching on a phone, you're going to want to do that. Yeah, we hope to buy land soon if we find agricultural zone land that we can convert to residential. In your opinion, experience? Yeah, well, here in the Philippines, it's not like American Canada where they're so strict about that in most cases. Far as I know, it's the high density you might have a problem, but low density, that's a farm. No, but I'm pretty sure in agriculture, you're allowed to have a farmhouse. So depends what you are looking to do it. If you're looking for high density, you want to build a subdivision on a farm field. Everything here is politics. So like the real answers I want to give you is depends on who you have pulling behind you. I think you all can read between those lines, right? Who do you have pulling behind you that has some weight? But I'm pretty sure you're allowed a farmhouse. So you're allowed to live on agricultural property. Even a few families, I'm sure, even are allowed. Also, there's laws for everything, but how many are enforced is another problem. Was actually shocked you were all killed with each other. You're definitely a better guy. Well, I don't know him, Keith. I'm going to be honest. Like I know he has some drama right now, and I've called him out before on this channel in lives. It's the only time it comes up. My normal vlogging, why would I talk about him? I don't talk about anybody unless I run into people. And but he used to have those clip-on camera, and he's told people I'm getting this new camera back. When I actually did watch some of it, and he said that the whole reason for getting the camera is then the girls apparently do this all the time, cover their face all the time, and giggle, but they don't talk. But when his camera's off, they talk. And he's like, so I'm going to get this camera. When it comes in, man, now the girls will be, you'll see what the girls are actually like when they don't know the camera's rolling. That's literally in his videos. Don't know if he deleted those videos, but those were his videos at the time. And then he even went on dates and he clipped it on and he recorded in her house or something like that. I remember seeing that where she had no idea she'd being recorded and she thought she was on a date with him, without being recorded, sort of thing, on this date. And so I called him out for that. I'm like, whoa, you doing this hidden camera shit and everything? And, and the problem is like he was going into a hotel. And again, this is stuff he's already been called out, not just by me, but like I think he's already had his wrist slapped from this, right? And so this isn't something new. I'm not starting a feud. I'm not starting a war. I think he knew that, I got to cut that shit out, and he stopped that. But like even in hotels, he would get the girl to show him the rooms. But this girl is like an OJT. She's probably a high school student, OJT, and she doesn't know she's being recorded. And then he would use her on the thumbnail even, and she showed me to the room. That kind of thing would be his title. in his thumbnail. And so I said, like, I don't like that shit. Guy's a great storyteller, fantastic storyteller. And like, if you're a single guy that really never wants to be in a relationship, you could live through his eyes, he's just always single. He's always like checking out the babes, whatever. And there's content for everybody, right? Like everybody's going to have a different interest and like, so I get it. But that's all I knew. And as far as I knew, he doesn't use that clip-on camera anymore. He doesn't do any of that stuff, especially when the government started to crack down and warn people, like, you can't just film people in public against their wishes. And hidden camera is against their wishes, right? Like, they aren't even, like, it's one thing to be walking around like, hey guys, what's up and everything, and then somebody comes up and yay, behind you. Well, that guy can't claim, well, I didn't want to be recorded. He literally jumped into your camera, right? And so there's that obviously recording and then not. And so, yeah. And I just told you what my interaction was. I didn't even, like, he asked me, can I record? Yeah, of course. But I'm waiting for this camera to come on. It never comes on. Not visibly. You don't know you're being recorded. It's just silent, quiet, dark. Only he knows it's working, I guess. I don't know, man. Mine has a screen on it, light flashing over here. You're being recorded. It's working. So, and it beeps when you turn it on, you turn it off. You can turn the beep off. And that's not even a red flag if somebody turns the beep off. Because if you're at an event or something and you hear everybody turning their camera on and off, beep, 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 it can be annoying. But like, did you cover the red light on it? Like with a piece of tape? Did you paint it? I'm trying to see. Sorry, don't mind me. Like how many other places that it flashes. But I have all my screens on, so it's not like, anyway. You could say it's battery saving. You can say you palm it because you don't want to walk around with a stick, But I think he wears it right like this, right? But I know, I've seen him film Coast Guard people and stuff like that in their job in walking in. And I know that's not allowed here when you're going in to get your thing and stuff like that. But anyway, it is what it is. But he's a nice guy. Great stories. It's not you're not mean guy. And YouTube decides what is popular and what is going to be successful. And you can play it, right? It's like anything. It's like, and I've told people before, like, you might not like these thumbnails that we have to do now, or these titles, or that kind of thing, but we don't make the rules. And then just saying, well, put everything at the back of the store, put nothing in your window to draw people into your store. That's the only way you should run a business. Is not a fair thing to do either. So you have to put the thing that's going to draw people into your store in the window. And that's what YouTube's doing to us. There is a reason why people get deported from the Philippines. Just remember, you're an ambassador of your country of origin, no matter where you go. It's true. It's true. Like, like, I don't know. And it's just like, don't you want to have the respect of the people around you? Like, I'm not, I love you guys. Okay. Love many of you. Many are wonderful people, especially since I get to meet so many of you. But it's not my job to please every troll, right? Like the ones that are just seem like you can just click on. You can click on their name, by the way. I think you guys can do the same. If you click on somebody's name on a normal video, I don't know if you can do it in live streams, but in a normal video, you can see all their comments on that channel, and you'll see that no matter what they put up, they have to be like they either hate the Philippines, hate Filipinas, they hate everything. They just hate everything. And it's not my job to please them, right? Or earn their respect. It's my job to earn the respect of those who I encounter every single day and all my interactions of my day and stuff like that. And that's why I do warn people, like if you're being a content creator, it's never off. The camera might be off, but if you get to a certain point where you're very noticeable and then you go places and stuff like that, every moment of your life is under scrutiny now, right? You can't go to the mall and just lose it on the staff, even if they're being like, you just, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Sort of thing. You don't get that option anymore. You can't blow up. Absolutely, you cannot. Everything is your reputation now. Every single interaction you do, every time even if you have the worst headache and somebody wants to talk with you and you got to find a way to very politely get yourself out of that. Even if they say, yeah, but I just need about 10 more minutes of your time. And you're like, my head is smashing, you have to, every single thing you do. And so, And so not just ambassador for your country, but like ambassador for yourself, your own reputation, your own everything, especially if you want to be on social media. And if you think, oh, I'm just going to, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make my $2,000 a month or whatever. And that there's nothing else to it. There is something else to it. Everything you say or do can get you deported. Everything you say or do could make people very upset with you in your own community. And yeah, comes at a price. Thank you for sharing your experience and adventure in the Philippines. Been there myself, brother. Canadian from Vancouver area. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard Thompson. Thank you. I see Joe go quite often since he lives down the street from us. He's always so cordial and willing to have a conversation. Fantastic. Have you ever been on his videos though? Like I never see him film other things, but he obviously comes off as a very friendly person. Just maybe he's not that social, like some people are extroverted, some people are introverted. But a lot of land that is sold that way hasn't been approved for housing, taking bare land. I got scammed by a scammer that got scammed by a contractor. Wow. Yeah. Never hurts to do 10 times the due diligence here. I bet you're probably going to agree with. Flying into MAC 10 Cebu in November for 3 weeks, and you suggest a place to stay and adjust for a day. You know what? If you're going to go into MAC 10, I would go and do the, oh guys, help me out. Something J, what's it called? I would go there because it's so packed of people, not just packed, like it's busy, it's got people and you can go hang out and it would just be fun and not too slow. Cause like if you stay at the Festival Walk one there or whatever, it's growing or whatever, but honestly, it doesn't have that exciting feel like I felt like in the J. Hang on, I'm going to find it out. J. Oh, that's literally what it's called. J Resort, J Hotel. Hang on, let me check. It's a little bit of the grungier side, it's sort of older side or whatever, but it's still like pretty cool. Not J Hotel, J Resort. I'm sure somebody has already grabbed it in the comments. I hope you guys did. Yeah, it's called J Resort, I think, right? Yeah, it's got a water park and everything, but also like people can rent like 30-day there, 90-day, that kind of thing. And that whole little area there, it's fun. It's a cool area. It's fun for families, but fun for single guys, everything. Like if I went back, I would probably try that or that one because we have Catherine and Laura. I would do it a little different. But if I went back as a single guy, I think I would go there first. I think so. Just for the nightlife and everything else that comes with it. That would be my guess. J Park. Thank you. J Park. Thank you, guys. You're all in there. Don't mind me. This is another one, RB? Or is that the same one? RB. Wait. Thank you, brother. I'm going to look for your comment again. Because you didn't put one in there. You can put a comment with that if you need. I thank you for those words. Okay. Thank you, brother. Thank you. $10 super chat. No actual chat in it. You're an awesome man. I'm 55. My birthday's May 31st. There you are. Age is just a number, and that's soon going to be Can you just imagine, eh? Oh, I'm 427. We all look 25. I'm 427. And people are like, damn, how many lifetimes can you live? I feel like I've already lived several lifetimes, you know? Coming to the Philippines was a whole other lifetime. Like, it's strange how that works. Well, thanks, Chris. I'm a little bit picky when I edit afterwards and take the clips to put them on Facebook. I'm like, oh, this voice doesn't line up, and then I have to manually sometimes tweak it if I get around it. But yeah, I get it. Hi, Mike. Hope to meet you someday. I've been growing a pig farm. Oh, yeah. Bayawan City is where the closest city to Sipalay City. So he's going to go check it out in Sipalay. Well, guess what? When we go down there, I don't know how long it's going to take Catherine to get well. I also was like, well, I'm not just going to go there. I want to go and see this one city that's basically between Dumaguete and Sipalay City. All right, because I already been kind of a lot of the places all the way up to Sipalay from Bacolod. I would love to do that corner there and figure that out too. So maybe we will see each other one way or another. I think that's a great idea. You've been doing more lives lately. No, I try to do it every Monday. But I think because you're thinking because Catherine was in the hospital and everything, I didn't do one for that week before that, right? So if you look at that, I try to do it every Monday, and that's the only time I do them. So I don't know. I think you're just trying to find a reason to hate me. But hey, guess what? The beautiful thing about YouTube and everything is you don't have to watch. And there's every single day 5 million new videos uploaded every day that, like, I don't understand that. Like, or when people say announce they're leaving, I'm like, you just, there's a button, you just watch something else till you like it, right? You don't have to be interested in, nobody's forcing you. And this isn't like old times where you had 3 channels and you had to watch one of those 3 or nothing at all. Those days are gone. It's great. You can now get anything you want. I've been to Alberta visiting a friend, Calgary, Alberta, or Calgary, Edmonton, and Banff. Yeah. Well, those are beautiful areas. Calgary is one of those places I didn't stay long enough. I was only there for a trade show. But Edmonton, I've been there more often, I guess. I grew up in Saskatchewan, right, as a child, northern Saskatchewan. And then Banff only one time, too, actually. That whole side of the country, because all the, in my business, in automotive manufacturing and then construction materials manufacturing, the vast majority was Ontario is the powerhouse of that, Quebec, that kind of thing, and then down into the U.S. So you got Pennsylvania, Ohio, everywhere the foundries are and the automotive companies are, and I'm trying to think all the steel mills, everything that was a big, that what do they call it, the Rust Belt and all that stuff. That's where I spent a lot of my time. I have been to a lot of places, but I had to find excuses to go to them, like a trade show. Catherine is doing a little bit better, a lot more pain, but thank you. It's getting better, though. It's just, yesterday was a rough day. Or last night, I should say. I bought my ticket in May. That's how I got 521 USD through Philippines Air to fly from SeaTac to Manila. Now I understand. Okay. Before the fuel prices skyrocketed. Fantastic. Did they add a fuel surcharge or no? Because I thought that's what they were doing. All the people, what they did is you bought your ticket, but we need a $50 now. My job in the fish plant sucked. Oh, I bet. Half paperwork and half fixing other people's problems. Yep. Mine was reports of everything. So many spreadsheets. It's not just reports, meetings, putting out fires, but the core part of my job that mattered the most was meeting with clients, going and seeing them in person, like addressing concerns, getting them to buy more, to or from our sales centers, our other salespeople, that kind of thing. Finding out what the friction was to get that. But the first 3 took all of your time so that you couldn't do these. Even though I was very good at these, I hated these. Oh my God, I hated meetings. And I hate paperwork. Who doesn't, right? I think I got that one, but thank you. Yeah, I did. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm in Kentucky. I had no idea dragon fruit was so big until yesterday. Oh yeah, $2.50 dollars and 50 cents a pound here. Yeah, dragon fruit's great. You get it in shakes all the time and everything here. Like here, it's dirt cheap. So I'm trying to remember how much a dragon fruit is. Is it not like 30 pesos for a dragon fruit, which is like 50 cents? And he only like, oh, yeah, but by the kilo. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good deal. Catherine's not, unfortunately, can't walk over here. I would ask her that. I'm 2 years from making a move to Bacolod. Been married to my Filipino wife for 14 years, and she will be a dual citizen by then. Perfect. That's fantastic. What part of Bacolod? I'm very interested. Where's everybody wanting to live these days? Is it they have really nice Ayala area, of course, the new Rockwell, the new Festiwak, the older Ayala, which is the capital district, that kind of thing, or the SM area, or none of the above, right? Maybe you just want to stay away from all the big developments. I arrive in 6 weeks today. Can't wait. Heading Rojas City because your is fantastic. Well, I hope I see you. 6 weeks. Try to time it around the expat meetups, second Sunday of every month, and I will always be in town right around that. So that's great. Oh, there you go. 150 pesos per kilo. So yeah, not pound, kilo. So is that 3.4 or something like that, pounds per kilo or something? So I might have been right. Look at that. It would be like 30, 40 cents a pound. Super cheap here, that's for sure. My girl owns land in Malabagas. It's 2 hours south of Supply. We should do lunch yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to drop me a message so we can connect, okay? Facebook, email, whatever, and then we'll connect so that we can make it all happen. Now with Catherine's healing, I just don't know the answer at this moment. We were supposed to go Wednesday. What's today? Monday, last Wednesday. We were supposed to go last Wednesday. That was our original plan, just to go back there. A couple other things we were going to do along the way, but didn't happen. I think the world's changing for the worse. So, well, I'm an optimist. Is there a maximum they can increase rent or lease annually? Well, in a long term, if you do that other factory lease or whatever, that's not. You don't pay. I think people make that mistake is when you do a 25-year lease or 50-year lease, it's like buying. You're paying a certain percentage of what you would pay to buy it, and you're paying up front. You're not paying monthly. If you're paying monthly, well, then there'll be an interest rate. And they'll have if you find somebody, they're going to want to put in, whatever inflation is. If inflation goes up 20% that year, so will your lease, and then it would also annually renew, and therefore you built a house on land that they can just say, nah, we're not renewing, and you only owned it for 2 years. So no, you buy all of it. You're buying not a put option. How would I? You're buying a contract. You're buying a contract for 25 years or 50 years. Well, the thing about the law is I think you need 25 plus an automatic renewal of 25. So it needs to be in the contract, but you're buying that contract. You're not paying monthly. You pay monthly, you're just going to rent a house so that, he can raise the rent. I don't even think there might be a rent. That's a very good question though on rent, but not leasing land. Like leasing land is a contract. It's a whole different beast. I don't know anybody. Is there a legal rental increase limit? Philippines. Probably is. Oh, wow. Yes, there is. So the Rent Control Act of RA 9653, annual rent increases are capped at 1% for eligible residential units, charging 10,000 or less per month. So if the rent is 10,000 or less per month, they are capped at 1%. What if over 10,000 a month? No, Yep, they can charge. They can raise the rent. They can raise the rent if only if the lease agreement explicitly allows it. So there you go. So, yeah. So it's important to put it in your contract. So there you go. There's no automatic increases, but there's no nothing in there. Right to evict. If the contract expires and you do not agree to his new higher rate, the landlord has a legal right to have you vacate the property. So there you go. Make sure it's all in the contract. If it's not 10,000 pesos or less, they can say, yeah, I'm raising it 20%, 30%, 100%. So you better put it in your contract. And do 1 year lease, and renewable, and rent may not increase more than 4% per annum. Put that into the contract, something like that. Just whatever he's going to give you the contract. You're going to go to a lawyer. Make sure your lawyer puts that in. All right, where are we? Where did we go? Now I know. I didn't know all that, by the way. Thank you. We won't be able to afford everything. No, that's not true. As he was mentioning, that same doctor, that's reverse aging and stuff like that. The cost of things is going down to practically zero. And, we talk about, like, people say nothing's ever going to be free. That's ridiculous. And it's like, it's just how we think about things. So he says King Henry VIII, he was rich, powerful, but he couldn't afford clean running drinking water in his home. Couldn't afford antibiotics. He could, because they didn't matter how much money he had. He couldn't have something that didn't exist at the time. And now the poorest person in America can still get access to clean drinking water. It might be a public washroom, but you can still get a clean drinking water for free. Antibiotics for free. Some clinic somewhere or whatever, like some free clinic. So with AI, it's just exponential now. Everything is exponential. And so it's not like, the thing is because AI is self-learning and self-this like that, you won't have like a Pfizer who says, I own the patent to this and I want $1 million a dose, because there are AIs being built all over the world by competing companies, and the AIs are getting more powerful that another AI can just tell somebody else a formula that just come to the same conclusion of that formula. And patent means nothing. You didn't use their information. You didn't steal from them. You didn't know all this stuff, and it will just come up with it. And you're just going to have this situation where all that's just going to be, everything's going to zero out. Like, I really do believe that that's what's going to happen is eventually it's going to figure out to rearrange atoms, because, this and me are made of the same atoms, not my conscience brain. I'm not saying that. I think consciousness exists somewhere else, but my meat, my skin or whatever, it's just arranged in a different order that determines that this is flesh and this is aluminum with some kind of coating on it. But this just arranged in a different order. And when they will everything may move so much faster than we can ever imagine. And it's just because I deal a lot in AI and programming and coding and stuff like that. And I can just see that in 1 week, everything changes. Like, it's exponential. It's just so incredibly impossible to stay up. Like, I recently was asked, like, we should get a bunch of the people to teach other people AI. And I'm like, yeah, we can. But in 2 weeks, it'll be gone again. So you need something more structured where that's like an ongoing thing, because you don't want to be the old guy like me. I haven't moved off of Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro. I pay me $600 a year, I think it works out to use Adobe, and yet there's so many other programs out there, but I'm feeling like an old timer here where I'm like, yeah, but I know how to use it. And yeah, there's much cheaper options out there that probably have way more features and all this. And I feel like that's going to be a problem with AI is you'll just be like, oh, my AI works fine for me. So I don't want to switch. I don't want to change. Meanwhile, the other one is already now 7 times faster, 7 times, 20 times smarter, whatever. That stuff's happening so constantly. Oh man, you can get me going forever, and it has nothing to do with the Philippines. So sorry about that, guys. Sorry, I gotta stay on topic. Stay on topic. Uh, where are we? Boom, boom, boom. Did you leave any bag? No, no. Left for good. Left for good. It's not like I was in Cambodia, then I was in Albania, then here. It's not like, again, I don't have nothing against Canada. Great, great place, wonderful place. But I lived 45 years there. So many other countries in the world I would love to go see, go do, and then just Philippines locked me down. But even if it wasn't the Philippines, like if they didn't trigger for me, I'm so excited to go and visit other places and go new places. So I had a calling supply houses the other day looking for parts for an HVAC company. Pretty awesome. Yeah, it's actually really crazy, and why the Philippines really has to figure out its strategic future in a world of AI and robotics. Do you have to have vehicle insurance like here in Canada? There is, so no. So what I'm going to tell you is that all vehicles here, the plates, right? The plates stay with the vehicle forever. All right. So if you sell the bike, car, whatever, it comes with the plates. The plates expire after the vehicle's 3 years old. It expires every single year, and it's based on the last. I just did my bike again. It's only been like 7 or 8 months. It's because they gave me these new plates from the old plates, and it's based on your last numbered digit on your plate. So if it's an N at the end, we'll go to the last number. And mine was August. So August 12th was my expiry. And so on that day, you have to go get your smoke test done, or what they call emissions testing here. That I get it. I know. I don't know how they all pass, but they pass. And so you get your emission test and everything, and then you got to renew your insurance. And all the insurance companies are right beside the LTO. You got the LTO right here, and then right beside it is this building. Most of the LTOs are like this. Maybe some other ones are not, but Kalibo is here, Iloilo. That in that building, there's all these desks, and each one is a sales representative from a different insurance company. They all basically charge the same thing. It's whatever one doesn't have a line. And it is basic ass insurance. Okay. It is 750 pesos for a motorbike. I think it was 750. I have people that would take care of it for me because the lineups is the part I hate. And so I send a staff. You don't have personally go. Somebody else can represent you, and so you can pay somebody 500 pesos for the day to go and do your smoke test, do your registration, everything. So I do that. But it's like 750 pesos. And so that is just like, I think it covers 100,000 pesos. It's not even going to cover your bike. Now, if you have financing on your vehicle, that's different. Just like back in Canada, you have to have the full insurance. The finance company demands that of you or anything, right? And so then you're paying significantly more money, but not like Canada. Canada, I had because I had 2 tickets on my record in 7 years, something like that, or maybe it was 3. I loved it. I had the heavy foot. I think my insurance was $330 a month Canadian. And so I was paying like $5,000 a year in car insurance because of those tickets. And then you gotta wait like 5-7 years for them to drop off. And then I get another one, and it's like, oh, now I pushed myself that many years. It was so stupid. And I didn't have any claims or anything. So, insurance companies just make bank. But I think here it would be more like $300 a year for the much more comprehensive and stuff like that. I should warn people, like, it's not unheard of that a foreigner is driving down a road and a kid he's not old enough to drive, let alone wear a helmet, well alone anything, right? It'd be a registered vehicle or anything, came out and he ended up T-boning because the kid didn't even look. He just drove straight out of a driveway or something very common. You have to be very, very careful when you drive here. Always defensive. Expect people to come out of every hole. Anyway, and so even though the kid legally can't be driving, is driving, no documentation, no helmets, no nothing, everything. The police show up and they're like, okay, the kid's injured. Pay the family 500,000 pesos. That's what will happen. You'll sit in the police station and they'll bring the family in And depending on what happened to the kid, it's probably a death, to be honest. They'll say 500,000 pesos, something like 700,000 pesos. But I've heard it from too many people that I know what's happened to. One of them is a YouTube vlogger, and it cost him 750,000 pesos. And he's like, there's no defense. That's not a defensive thing, that the kid shouldn't have been there. He drove improperly, that he's a kid, that he doesn't have a license, that he doesn't have insurance, he doesn't have it. And so your insurance is not going to help you on any of that. It's not going to help when the police are telling you, just give this kid's family some money. And that's it. And if he was injured, maybe it was 80,000, 75,000, whatever. It could be whatever it is. So take what you may of that. That's why some people say, I'm not driving in this country. Hell no. It's usually rental cars, by the way. You don't have, when you're driving a motorcycle, you limit the amount of damage you can do to other vehicles because you are a narrow little thing. When you have a car, you also have, it's a bigger blind spot, especially lower down and stuff like that. And, I guess, and you're just wider. So you're going to be able to hit something where a bike, you can get out of the way. Maybe you fall, but something like that. But because it's usually cars that kind of thing happens. Yeah, I did talk about, yes, I did meet the Scotty boy. We already talked about it so many times, I don't want to over and over. Oh, no way, you were in the camp. Yeah, I was in the reserve, so militia, right? In Georgetown, which is based out of, Lawrence Scott's based out of Brampton, but not long enough to brag about or anything. There's nothing to brag about, put it that way. There's nothing to brag about. But my knee got split open, and I did not want to hand out uniforms. So reserve, I wanted to be infantry. Desperately wanted to be infantry. I was trying to get full time, but I didn't have high school. Greetings from Las Vegas. 6 more months to return home to the Philippines. Welcome back when you do. How old are you? I'm 51, a roamer. Well, I sold everything I owned. I had a big corporate career, and I've made my way along the way. If you send me an email, I'll give you a detailed financial breakdown, my profit and loss, and where I had my income, what my savings accounts were. Do you need everything? Anyway, I actually get paid by YouTube to make videos. Pretty cool, right? I was just teasing you, by the way. Don't take too much offense, I hope. We're being flooded in Manila right at this moment. What? Really? That's the thing about the Philippines. Like, if you see something on TV, and it happens even with typhoons. I'm sorry to hear that, John. Is that like the weather is so different in these islands? Even forget islands. Iloilo will be getting crazy flooding rain, and we are sitting in sunshine, and like I see some clouds right now, but they're all white fluffy, but yeah, so the same island, you can get totally different weather. Boracay was getting some crazy weather like a week ago, and I'm looking out at mine and I'm like, we're 3 hours from Boracay. So much different. Can change. Here in Joplin, Missouri, USA, daytime temperature has been 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I think it's 90 here. And it shouldn't be. It's rainy season. It should be cooler. But Valencia or Baguio, which is better? Valencia. That's my answer. I love Baguio. Don't get me wrong. Love Baguio. But you're asking me to compare. And Baguio is Baguio. Valencia is Dumaguete, Darwin, can't remember the next one over there, Bacolod, straight over to Cebu, everything. Baguio is way up on this mountain, and everything feels like Baguio, even the little towns around it and all that. It feels like Baguio. You got to go down this windy roads, all the way down, make your way to La Union. You can have the beaches. Problem is, a bus flips, tips over, whatever, something happens, break down. I've seen trucks like broke down, blocking a whole lane, many hours to get down that hill, that kind of thing. Options wise, Valencia, but not as cool as Baguio. Baguio is going to be much cooler, much wetter, that kind of thing. Come here. Everybody misses you. Everybody was missing you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's just the camera speed. My camera for live streams is set at 30 frames per second. So that's why you actually see a really slow fan. It's not really moving that slow. It's on low, but it's still spinning like crazy. Right?
Mhm.
You're kind of sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah, what have you been doing?
I was waiting there.
Waiting for who?
I'm waiting for Nang An because she was buying something.
Oh, Anne went to buy something?
Yeah,
Is it for food, for eating?
not yet.
Not yet. Is that what she went to buy though?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. You hear the gate. Somebody's here. Oh, Catherine's friend is back again. She's been coming every day. Sai, Tony's girlfriend. She's been coming every day to watch and hang out with Catherine because she can't go anywhere. And they have just become like this. I'm so happy because she doesn't make friends. Like she makes friends. Don't get me wrong, but then like the next day she's not like, oh, let's hang out again, or even a week later or a month later. And she's just one of those people where if I run into them, I'll say hi, but it's just the way she is, right? Anyway, so now she's been here, well, every day for 3 days now. And I think they're all going to go sit out there at sunset, put out the table and everything else, which is cool. I just like her having friends. It's great. Really great. Baguio right now is flooding. Wow. There you go. I'm in Guam, but I also live in Dumaguete at a farm just past. Oh, out past. Okay. So you got both going on. Nice. Because that's about 2 hours from Dumaguete, right? Or an hour and 45 minutes? I think so. Hello, Mike. Are you doing anything special around Christmas? That we're still trying to figure that out. I'm set to land in Manila at the end of November and looking to do travels once I get there. A week of relaxing. Yeah, we have to come up with a solution, or not solution, and a plan. What do we want to do for Christmas this year? What do we want to do for New Year's this year? In provinces, New Year's is not a good place to be. It's slow. It's quiet. And the first time we owned the Beaver, I was like, oh, we're gonna have a free champagne, and we're going to do this big party and everything. And it was a ghost town. Everything's ghost town. Everything is ghost town. But New Year's Day, after New Year's Eve, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., all the businesses open and packed, and it's so busy. It's like Christmas Day here. It's the malls open on Christmas Day in the Philippines. Like it's the busiest day for leaving the house, even in the morning, is Christmas Day. It's not like America. You gotta, or the West or whatever. It's so much different. So yeah, we gotta come up with an idea very soon. I just don't want to say it on my own. I gotta speak to her and let her have a voice in this and bounce ideas off and everything else so that together we make a decision on what we're gonna do for Christmas and New Year's. And then I'll let you know. I just don't know yet. We live in Guam also, but here in Samar at the moment. Fantastic. I got to visit Guam too. There's another reason, but I'm looking into it, but it's another complicated thing. It's just got to do with maybe I could get a divorce there, but then I have to get the Canadian embassy to agree to accept it, and I don't think they will. It's a whole complicated thing. My land stays as a rainforest planted 4,000 Nara trees. Is Nara wood protected that you're not allowed to sell it anymore? I thought it was like you could only buy old Nara wood. I'm always interested about that because, like Nara wood's beautiful wood. America stole most of it, and when they colonized here, right, and left them with the poor timber, even imported, believe it or not. So they would bring wood from America, like real cheap pine. They would sell it to the Philippines market, take all the Nara out and bring it to America to export markets. And I think the Spanish did the same thing, but it's different. They just took it out. Just speaking some of the families, so their houses have been there for 100 some odd years because not many things have because of World War II and destroyed most old buildings. But yeah, it was very interesting. What was your main job? I was district... I was in charge of Central and Eastern Canada. Well, that was the one before that. Last one, I was in charge of the United States for a manufacturing company. Before that, I was district manager for Central and Eastern Canada for a multinational company. So everything to do with management, sales, that kind of thing, engineering, that kind of thing. And I had to do classes for architects, stuff like that. As a manufacturer, you have to give these courses so that they get so many credits to keep their architect license. Anyway, stuff like that. I would say, Overhead Door Corporation, Wayne Dalton, Upward Door Corporation. A lot of door companies used to be in automotive manufacturing before that, but a lot of door companies like Rolling Steel, high speed doors, garage doors, even like Horton was with the man doors. That was a division of our company. Wise People is living right now in Southeast Asia. Quality of life is, and just like just so chill, relaxed, the pace of things. Yeah. Hi, Mike from Vancouver, BC area. I was wondering if you could recommend surgical health care in the Philippines, because here in Canada, the waits were ridiculous. Like what Catherine got would not have happened in Canada. Okay. Like we see the doctor, do the scans, all that, check and everything. And then that was 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and 10 a.m. the next morning. We don't have to stay overnight or anything. Come in at 9, 10 she's in the knife, 10:45 she's out in recovery. In America, it's probably totally normal. You guys are like, yeah, what? But in Canada, they would look at it and go, okay, well, it's probably not cancerous and all that. And they would, never mind, it would be 9 hours in the ER before they even see you. Maybe 10 hours, maybe more. Then they go, okay, let me look over here in the schedule at the hospital, like at that hospital or any hospital, because they're all public. So they just look and they're like, okay, well, if you go to Scarborough, which is 2.5 hour drive through traffic, 3 a.m. in about 6 months from now, we can fit you in. That's what the reality is of Canada. It's free, not free. You're paying huge taxes, but it comes at a cost. Everything takes much longer to get done. Canada loses a lot of doctors to America because when you have a public system, their salaries are capped at a certain amount, where that same doctor goes, I'll be a surgeon in America and I'll make 5 times, maybe not 5, double. I'll make double working in America. And so we also have a massive doctor shortage, nurse shortage, because they all want to go to America and make more money. So it was a lot better here, my friend. It was a lot better. But you do have to pick your hospital. It needs to be a premium hospital for me to say, yes, go do it. I'm sure there's wonderful examples in provincial hospitals here in different places where the doctors are fantastic and they even have great equipment, and it exists, because I've been to many of these provincial hospitals that have opened in the last 2-3 years. Well, they're not opening with old equipment. Everything's brand new German equipment, and everything's fully stocked, and maybe they're great now. But on a general, safe thing is to say pick one of the top places. That's why we took Catherine to Iloilo, just to make sure we didn't have any problems, and everything went so smooth because of it. If you have a budget of $2,000 per month, we will live like king in the Philippines. It's not like it was before. And I say before because I wasn't here. What people used to say before, but no, people I talked to, because COVID changed everything. Because everything goes up in price, but never comes back down. Even if everything goes back to the same, it never comes back down, does it? You lose, it's like slippage. It literally is like slippage. It's like, no, can't go any further. It just jammed there. And, obviously right now we have the oil thing still going on, right? And we're still getting oil, but they're paying extra. They're paying more for it. They took all the taxes out of it. Like, there's all kinds of reasons why the gas prices aren't too crazy. They're up, but they're not too crazy. And none of them have to do with that everything's been fixed. So I just don't see, I just didn't see like the price coming back down to what it was. And so 2,000 to me is Like you used to have 3,000. Yeah. Like 2,000 is just not enough. So sorry, the other way around. Having 3,000 now is like having 2,000 before COVID here in the Philippines. You lost $1,000 or a third. You lost a third of your buying power. It's just the way it is. Everything's more expensive now. And, you've seen it in everything, even in Filipinos, like as much as they're paid very low. Yes, they are. Even they were making 250, 300 pesos, and to do some of the jobs they get paid 500 now. They've doubled their income. Not that it's great because everything's gone up in price. But call centers really helped this country, and OFWs have sent a lot of money into this country, so that there is enough people making bigger amounts of money that are spreading into the economy. Yeah. Lose my train of thought. It appeared that you didn't want to be around. I just didn't know much about it. You know what? I found out afterwards. I knew there was some drama, but because people kept every YouTuber, I say YouTuber, but like talking head guys or whatever. Yeah, YouTubers. Sorry, not vlogger. See, vlogger is, I don't know, maybe not like calling yourself a travel vlogger, but you never leave your apartment is not a travel vlogger, right? But you are still a YouTuber, so I'm just say YouTubers. We're just saying like persona non grata, this and that, and regular guy this, and they were just using that to get views of their own, right, from that whole topic. But I could never figure out, okay, is this like that stuff that was going on before with him, that he left and came back, and I thought he got a slap on the wrist? Like I said, I thought it had to do with like that clip on camera that nobody knew they were being recorded, and he was going around like, not like a vlogger, but just like, like not a hidden camera. It's right there, but it doesn't appear to be on or anything. And he's just walking around, and then he just puts it out there. And the Philippines is not very happy with that kind of stuff. And so I thought that was it, and maybe he filmed a girl who was under, like, I think somebody said 17. I knew there was that kind of stuff, but I didn't know anything. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know. And it was actually only when I was trying to figure out, it was Scotty's video saying that a vice mayor, when he was making a video at the Beaver, in CDO labeled him persona non grata for being a womanizer or something. That's all I know. So he has a persona non grata, but I might be just for that city. And so they're like, get out of my city sort of thing. I guess he's still able to, nobody arrested him, so they didn't throw him out. So I guess that's all it is. And that's all I know. That's it. I don't even know why, other than what his side is that he, they didn't like him going after the women. And that's it. So I still don't know any more than that, my friend. But Big Bro, CCTV, and AI tracking everyone. Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, no, it's not. It's sort of. So you are allowed to have CCTV. I have CCTV pointing out in front of our gate, which I see the road, right? That's not breaking any laws. But if I broadcast it on the internet, especially with no context, like somebody breaks into my house or whatever, like that kind of thing. But I'm pretty sure even in the Philippines, like even if somebody robs a bank and the CCTV's got him, I think they have to blur the guy's face until he's found guilty. Even though he's clearly got a gun and he's pointing it, I'm pretty sure in the Philippines they have to blur his face. And so that's the thing. Like, it's strange in that whole thing. So it's just different in the Philippines. But anyway, you are allowed to have CCTV and sorry guys, my thing just reset on me, so I'm fixing it. You are allowed to have CCTV and everything. It's just that's the thing. Everything good now? Okay. Kind of crashed out there. Is that it's the broadcasting it to making it public. You can make it friends only. You're allowed. The law actually doesn't stop you to share it among your friends, your family, close, just not public. That's the big key of the whole law. Pro-Life drilled out light on his DJI, then got to. Yeah, well, let's be honest, like he did everything. Like You do that. You wouldn't have got away with it as long as he did if the Philippines wasn't so polite. You know, like they had a lot of patience with him, but like it was obvious he would do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Go find the slums, go stick your camera in right in people's doorways and windows, and like, you know, just because people leave their door open doesn't mean they're asking for you to stick their camera into their house because it's hot and they don't have air conditioning. You know, they need some air. And you're walking down these little pathways here and you're like, oh, hi. And these people are sitting in their living room and they're all this, but you know, and he had one purpose, one goal. It was so obvious. I don't think anybody knew. He knew exactly what he was doing too. It was obvious to everybody. And like, nobody was okay with that. Don't get me wrong. There were guys. I know there were a segment of guys, and it's very popular, that just wanted to see some chick that he got from there, and he convinced her to go to a waterfall with a bikini. It's literally a story out of a porno, right? Like that's what it felt like. And so he had it, you know, he got all the views because of that. Everybody wanted to see that. Everybody just wants to see. But the problem is he was playing, well, everybody. A lot of those girls, he found them online, paid them, set the whole thing up. There are no girls wandering around in bikinis here, guys. It's just, you go to Boracay, you'll see some or whatever, but like he made it look like every day he could find a new girl with big boobs and everything, and with bikinis that are just like happy to meet a stranger and go down to a waterfall. Sounds like a script to me. All right. So no, I don't know. I don't watch them anymore. Like I never watched them, to be honest, but you can't avoid them. It's on everything. These clips are everywhere. Everybody's reposting, and even to this day, they still post them. Just signing on. Yeah, the wife's doing okay, or the girlfriend, you know, we just call her the wife. I don't even care. I don't correct people. Yeah, she's doing better, but she was in a lot of pain last night. I think today, I think things will get better. And thank you all on the J Park, guys. Oh, I'm so behind the comments. I just realized. Hi, Mike. Wife and I, both born and raised in Canada, are Canadian. Are you looking at options at the moment where in the Philippines is a serious consideration for moving in the next 5 years? Any gotchas you can share? Yeah, well, we're at a stage. We're at 9 months. I was saying this earlier. I have 9 months-ish, 10 months, something like that, to decide where to live. Rojas is still on my list as the top. If I can't find what I want that fits what I want, I have other options. I like that Cipolay thing, but it doesn't have everything Rojas has for me. So, but I'm not saying no. So we were supposed to go this week. Catherine and I spent 3 days there. You know, it's like called research. You know, I just wanted to walk the property. I wanted to feel it. I want to stay there, and I just kind of like put the right amount of thought into it. I don't know. Either way. Anyway, so another place that's fast growing, has everything, that it's still always in the back of my head is Bohol. I never wanted Bohol before because I had no shopping malls and all this. It just felt like it's only Bohol because it's an island. And Panglao is great and it's wonderful. And Bohol, the rest of Bohol is so empty of anything. Like you go long drives and there's not even a shack, you know, in many areas. Like it's a very low populated island, but it's now the second fastest growing GDP in the country, next to Iloilo, and it's booming and it's becoming a big thing. And so, but what do I want? I like, but they have a good airport there and with a lot of flights going in and out of that place. So it's, see what I mean? It's kind of sitting there. But I really love Valencia now that I've been up there and a few times. And I don't want to live in Dumaguete or anything. And even Darwin, you know, other people like the Rocky Beach stuff and everything because they love snorkeling. I love snorkeling, but it's their life. You know, they love, every day they would go snorkeling and scuba diving and that kind of feel like that's the place for them. But then I also wonder, like, being on Luzon right now, not Manila, but Luzon would be kind of fun and cool. And what a cool experience, a different experience. You know, Bataan, where it's like just after Subic and you can just be down in there and have access to everything anytime you want.
freedom to just drive. But I'd be pretty far to the airport. I have to go to Clark to the airport, right? There's so many things I think about, to be honest. So take that for what it is. I'm heading there in October from the US to either Iloilo or Cebu area, but I'm looking for the safest cities that are still cheap. Well, the safest cities when toddlers are with us, safest city is still Davao. I'm pretty sure you can check the tribe stats on that. I'm pretty sure it's still Davao. As crazy as it sounds, it's in Mindanao and it's the safest city, but I believe it is still the safest city. But you're splitting hairs, I'm going to be honest, between a lot of these places. Like all these mid-tier cities in size, like Davao and Iloilo and Bacolod and all these other ones, they might be hairs from each other in safety. It's already really low, and one might be just a few hairs lower or a few hairs lower. It's almost indistinguishable. I was telling somebody recently, they were saying about crime in Canada, and I'm like, well, it exists. And it exists in more ways than it does here. Like, I've never heard of a home invasion here. I've heard of somebody getting something stolen when they weren't home. It's happened. But home invasion? No, the violent, scary stuff, right? I would live on a street in a 50,000 population town, I guess, attached to a city. And any given year, somebody on the street had their car stolen from their driveway or in the road in front, right? Broken into, stolen, or broken in and just robbed, whatever. Probably one person. 20, 30 houses on the street, probably one person got that done. On that street, probably 2 to 3 were broken into, burglarized in a year, maybe a year and a half to get that number or something. Not unreasonable. You wouldn't even think anything of it. You'd be like, yeah, it happens. Even kids breaking into school on the weekend and smash windows or something like that. Or, oh, come on, I used to deal with part of my earlier career in between my automotive manufacturing and the construction manufacturing. I was involved in a lot of security stuff too. And we had wastewater treatment plants, pumping stations broken into. They would go climb up on the roof and break away through the HVAC and break in and spray paint and cause shit and break things and stuff. That's not a thing here. None of that is a thing here. None of that is a thing here. Like people breaking into a store and stealing all the bags and stealing things off the shelf. That's not a thing here. It's, when you see crime, you can usually point to it. You can point to, yeah, that guy got mixed in with the wrong people. So I think you're good. But mosquitoes, so stay away from high flooding areas. Be in areas or be near a coast like this, right? This never-ending wind means we don't really get mosquitoes here. It's pretty rare because they can't keep up with the wind. It just never ends. There's always a breeze, so that's smart. But yeah, obviously standing water and everything. So you want to stay away from any place with a lot of rice fields and these flooded areas that they intentionally flood. Man, I wish I was the right guy to ask on that one because, see, I'm immune to mosquitoes, so they don't bite me. I never get a mosquito bite. They'll walk all over me. I wouldn't know. I like to be helpful, but that's the only thing. Anyway, you have toddlers, and you want cheap? Still cheap. But then again, like people will tell you, the family here that have the 2 children, very small children, like 5, 6, 7, that kind of thing, you see just 3 or 4 videos ago, it's at 5 million, I think it says right on the title. And they love life here for their kids. Very safe, very cheap here, comparative. And they go to private school, and the kids they live in a community where they can ride their scooters in front of the house. A little, when I say scooters, not scooters, the little kick things you walk on, skateboards with sticks on the end, I guess, or whatever. And they play safely everywhere, and they have a good life. They go to the beach and run around on the beach all day. Like, that sounds pretty safe. Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah. See, There's a good tip that I would never have thought of. What's like a lemon or something? I'm not even sure. But when you go back to Negros Island, I suppose the eastern part of Cadiz, San Carlos. Yeah, I haven't been to, like, so we drove through San Carlos, but I've never been to San Carlos. But I think there's a YouTuber in San Carlos. Yeah, because he came to Iloilo once, and I went to his meetup, Sunshine Shoulder guy. And I don't know, I didn't feel like he wanted me there, which was weird because at the time I watched him and I was like, you made this an open invite, and I don't know, I got a bad vibe. It's not like he said anything to me. It's just, he did not like me being there. This is back on the other channel anyway. So I went there and I was just like, okay, well, I don't get it. I don't get it. My channel, even on my previous channel, was way bigger than this one. So like, I could only have brought him positive. Yeah. I just don't understand it sometimes when vloggers are like, so, no, my audience can't find out there's other vloggers. So worried. Oh, thank you, Billy. Appreciate that. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, they lower the weight limit. I wouldn't doubt that, man. I bet you they're going to actually measure every bag. I've stayed away from flying for now, but not for any reason other than we just haven't needed it. And for me, because here, I'm going to be honest, here in Rojas City, you only fly one place, Manila. So if I want to go to Dumaguete or something, I kind of see as an adventure that, okay, let me go down to here, then I'll go stay one night, and then we'll go over to Dumaguete. I could do it all one day, but I'd be dead, tired like crazy. But technically, I could just jump on the plane here, 25 minutes later be in Manila, switch planes and go to Dumaguete. But there might be like a 6-hour wait in that airport. That's the only reason I'm like, nah, that doesn't sound like fun. That sounds like a pain in the ass to me. And obviously be pretty expensive when you're adding 3 of us traveling on the plane. So when I get back to Dumaguete, we go to our farm. Oh, okay. And show everyone how easy it is to profit raising pigs. I heard that pigs are a great business until swine flu comes to your area. Then you lose it all. But then again, I don't know what that means, right? Like if you gain a 6 times multiple on your money most years, and then you lose a 1 times multiple 1 year because of swine flu, well, you're still at 5 times multiples. So I just don't know enough about it, but I've heard that kind of thing. I'll be starting a coffee shop. Yeah, everybody, coffee shops do so well here. I get it. They have low cost, and everybody loves coffee here. Everybody. Oh, it's 2.2, not 2.3. Thank you. Alberta was looking like little. I got to be careful, man. I got to be careful. I'm online. Buying medical insurance worth it living in the Philippines? Or traveling insurance? Well, it all depends on you. Some guys have a lot of pre-existing conditions, and it may be more logical just to take 30 grand and put it into a bank account that earns whatever, and that you will use in event of an emergency, because your pre-existing conditions are not going to get covered. Even when they say, well, we'll cover some of them, they're not stupid. The insurance companies only want to make money, right? So if your pre-existing condition is going to be something that's going to cost them a lot of money, they're going to say, sorry, we won't cover that. Oh, I got this simple one. I get eczema every once in a while. Okay, fine, we'll cover that one. You know, that kind of thing. And so it's a difficult decision for everyone. If you're healthy, and say you're 40 years old and you have no pre-existing, you have nothing, go do it. It'll be so cheap. And then don't stop renewing. Everything's going to be covered. Even if 50 and fully have to, you know what I mean? Like, because at some point, like they don't even have a reason to drop you. They have nothing. And then anything that happens to you will have to be covered, because you never, especially if they cover you for a long time too. But yeah, because the cheaper like when you're younger, it could be like, I don't know, like 20,000 pesos a year. I don't even know what today's price is, to be honest. You can just check. It's on my website, but it's like the travel insurance stuff is like $60 a month. Yeah, $60 a month, so $700 a year. And that's like 5 million US dollars, and you're covered for like all kinds of crazy stuff, right? But in the Philippines, like nothing's going to cost you over $50,000. Like that's generous, super generous. 30 is probably the real number. And so these most medical insurance are they're made for like Singapore, America, Germany, whatever. They're just made for very expensive countries. When if something happens to you, or there could be lawsuits involved and other people hurt and everything. But the Philippines, oh yeah, like it's micro cost size comparative to those other countries. So a lot of those insurance policies are just way higher than everything I'll ever have. That's why Michael Onstead, who was in here earlier, he has like a peso plan also, which just covers you in the Philippines. It's just pesos. And so I think you can still travel other places, but it only pays in pesos. And it's like 1.5 million pesos or something like that, which is like kind of everything, you know? And even if it was something really crazy, well, then maybe you pay 500,000 pesos that covered 1.5, something like that. So there's different answers for that question, actually. I am from Eastern Township, just outside of Montreal, Quebec. Where all the farmlands are. Yes, they are. And my gosh, so many people out that way, even though you're so close to Ottawa, because you're east, right? Oh, you're the other side. Oh, I'm wrong. Okay, you're more close to America then. But anyway, on the west side, I know, I was like, you just cross over Gatineau, that thing. And then everybody, like, it's like a line. And they're like, those people don't speak almost any English. Being so close to the English side, it's so weird. But yeah, I think you're closer to, is it Maine? Maybe. Why am I not remembering these things? Beyond me. Probably start the first 2 months or two in a condo in Bacolod and start circling out to look for probably something more permanent there if we decide to stay. Also check out Legazpi City and Sorsogon. Yep. Yeah, I haven't been to Legazpi and all that. They have between, I don't want to go there in typhoon season. It's not generally a good idea. And then they had the Freon volcano. It's no different than northern Cebu. I still haven't done it because they had that massive earthquake a week before we were going to go. And so a lot of these places that a lot of people are asking me about, I want to go there so I can have an opinion. But look forward to it. Panama sucks. Looking to check the Philippines. Yeah, my mother lives in Panama, but everybody needs something different. Well, thank you. May I eventually fix the heat. Well, we already did that by inventing air conditioning. So there'll be more inventions similar to that, I'm sure. My mother was born in the Philippines. Dad brought her to Canada in 1974. Now I find out if I can possibly get dual citizenship because Mom was born there. Yes, I already know the answer to this. Did your mother get her Canadian citizenship before or after she gave birth to you? If your mother gave birth before she became a Canadian citizen, so she was still an immigrant, she didn't get her citizenship yet, you are a Filipino. You have Filipino citizenship, right? Because you doesn't worry about your dad. Your dad will give you the Canadian side, obviously, but then you get Philippine citizenship dual. If your mother was granted Canadian citizenship, and she gave birth to you, then even if she got her dual later, it doesn't matter. You don't qualify. And the reason I know that is my ex went through all of that. Her mother moved to Canada when she was 21 or whatever, gave birth at 26, but she at 25 years old got her Canadian citizenship, had her at 26, and she got rejected. After many years in the Philippines, they told her, sorry, that's not how it works. She had to be, the mother had to be an actual citizen at the time of birth. So either already had her dual or only had her Philippine citizenship. So I hope that helps, and hopefully it wasn't the bad news that you were wanting to hear. But hello from Aurelia. Hey, I was in the Philippines in April and thought it might be near you, but I didn't realize how far away. Yeah, a lot of people message me. They're like, okay, I'm in Cebu. How do I get to the Beaver? And I'm like, oh, you're in the wrong island. Or same with Manila. They're like, okay, I flew into Manila. Maybe I'll come down and see your bar. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, it's not even like, flying into Minnesota and saying, "Yeah, I'm coming to Florida." You could actually drive that. It's like coming into Minnesota and then saying, "Yeah, I'm over here in Honolulu." It's just there's so much. Well, that's an exaggeration, but there's water between all our islands here. It's not the same way. You can't drive to it easily. You have to get on these boats and spend 20 hours on a boat if you're bringing your car. Yes. So these type of insurances but they're geared to the basic. So if there are foreigners here that are like, "No, Michael, I pay for the real insurance. I want to be covered. I don't want to spend a dime. I want my vehicle replaced. And if the other person is injured or whatever, it covers everything." That's real insurance. That's the real. You want a real big insurance, international, multinational, whatever insurance company to give you comprehensive coverage. The ones that are in these, these M. Hewler, those are Western Union, those type of places, right? That's how most people will recognize them. They're for the people who like check cashing crowd sort of thing. But except for here, all those people are getting money from OFWs, to be honest. But yeah, make sure it's comprehensive. But you're going to pay for it. It's going to be big. You definitely must have done a well as sales guy. You can talk for hours. I did. No, actually, that YouTube did that to me. I was a good sales guy because I believed in 2 ears, one mouth. And so I would find out, like I would get them to tell me about their whole life, my customers, and we'd have a connection. I'd know about their kids, their dog, where they vacation. I just sit there. And all I did is ask the leading questions and let them do the talking. Because people love to hear like what they're interested in, right? If they're into fishing, they want to talk about fishing, but I know nothing about fishing. So all I have to do is ask the leading questions. They're just going to talk about fishing all day long. And then I come out of there and they're like, "Damn, that guy's so cool." I said nothing. You said everything. I just listened. But then YouTube changed everything. Now I have to stare at this camera. "Hi guys, welcome to my vlog." I have to do this. And I can't just go, "So guys, what's kind of like the most important thing that you found that happened to you here in the Philippines?" And then just sit back and wait 20 minutes and let you go. I'm not in that place. Unfortunately, I'm the one that does all the talking now. Gas is 83, yeah, 92 Bohol. Yeah, that's true. Smaller the islands, like if you go to Manila, gas is cheap. You go to Mindoro, gas is a fortune. The more islands you have to hop, and the smaller the island, the smaller the supply, price is different. We are very lucky in Rojas City. It's right there. Here, so the ship right there. So that's the fueling boat right now. So there's a buoy, or not a buoy, there's a buoy that with a pipe that goes underground, and that's we're in the main distribution hub. So all the tanks are over here. It's on the other side of the beach, or over further down, for Petron, the biggest gas station I think in the country. And so yeah, we have great supply here, so therefore we get the city prices, But if you go, and same with Iloilo has great city prices too. They have distribution, but then all the towns in between, you see the price as you go. Whatever you're leaving Rojas City or you leave Iloilo, as you go this way, the prices get a little higher, and then you're paying almost 20 pesos per liter more by the time you get to the middle area. I'm losing my voice. Let me, wow, so many in here. I'm losing my voice, guys, so I'm going to warn you now. We're going to 2.5 hours. No joke. Sorry, Papa Smurf. All right. You can rent total around $100, but it's not king lodging, but you can do what you want to do. $100 includes electric and water. I think that was represent something else. Asian Boss did 45-minute story on BPO. I waited 2.5 years for my surgery here in Quebec. There you go. My knee was just to get a MRI CAT scan. I don't remember. Whatever, of my knee because cartilage damage. So I think that's MRI. Because it's been aching for years, ever since. Well, the reason I'm not in the reserves anymore, and ever since then, like it just aches all the time. And so the doctor assigned it, and it was like. My memory might be bad, so I'm going to be very forgiving. And I'm going to say it was only 4 months, but I think it was much longer. And I had to go far away, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning just to get MRI done. Then they tell me, oh yeah, you can't really see the soft tissue damage too well on this and all that. So we'd have to scope it. And if we have to scope it, we're going to fix it at the same time. And it was, I think, over a year and a half. And I just never did it because then they told me I have to go months without working. I'd have to stay home. This is back before people were like, oh, you can work from home, that kind of thing. And so I would be mobile for, I can't remember how long it was. It was far longer than my company would ever give me. I knew that. And so therefore I wouldn't got anything. So yeah, I would never got it done. I never ever got it fixed. Well, not just CCTV. You can film in public. You just can't make it public. Does that make sense? In the Philippines? You can film all you want. Just don't, and you can show it to your friends. You can even set it to friends. You cannot make it public. That's the privacy laws here. Anything in public you have the right to privacy in public. You do not have the right to privacy in private. Sound funny? Yeah. Because all they have to do is put a sign up and say, this is what's going on. So like Canadian Beaver, we have signs. If you enter this premises today, we're filming for social media. If you do not wish to be on this social media, please do not enter this property or do not enter the property, something like that. I'm just giving you the small version, but the lawyer wrote the whole thing. So we have notices for ours, and therefore you don't have the expectation of privacy in that private business. And you don't have, so that's no different if you go on a film set, right? You walk into a film set, and they have big giant posters saying, we're filming in this bar today for a movie or a TV show. By entering this bar, you are waiving your right or whatever, that kind of stuff. So there is times you can do it, but in public in the Philippines, it's not like America. You don't have the right to privacy. You don't have the right to privacy in public in America, but here the government has said you do. You do have the right to privacy, not from police, not from anything. You have the right to privacy from being seen in public. The public can see you, but you can't put it online to let the public see you. Make sense? I can't argue, Joe. The only thing is you probably are using, you have more, what do I call it? Why am I evidence? You have more evidence than me. I have seen only his live streams, to be honest, and not all of them, just once in a while, right? I have seen I'm trying to think, maybe years ago, I saw, like I said, I remember seeing that one where he was like a date and that kind of thing. I remember that. I don't know. Maybe I've seen. I'm not going to say, oh, you liar. You've seen. It's that rare. I hear his stories about meeting girls. Because he does his little story time thing or whatever. But I've never watched. So that, I don't have time. Let's just be honest. It's not because I wouldn't watch. If I was back in the West, I would have been watching, right? I probably would have watched him as a single guy back in the West. I probably would have. But I just now my life is a little busy. I'm a little crazy. I do all kinds of stuff. I got a family. I got all this. I'm not spending a lot of time on YouTube, to be very honest. I'm actually what they made shorts for, I feel like, and podcasts, because I can multitask with podcasts. I love podcasts. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at. I know what his stories sound like. He talks about I made some insertions. He said that in a live stream recently, and I was just like, ugh, okay, that sounded creepy. You don't have to say it that way. Like, is that maybe? But that's just my personal opinion. Other people may be like, "What's wrong with calling it insertions?" You know, I get it. But and there's nothing wrong with being single. Nothing wrong with dating. Nothing wrong with you know, if two consenting adults want to do whatever they want to do. I have zero problems with all of that. But I have a feeling that you probably have seen more than that. Like I saw with the guy that did get kicked out, pro-life, where like literally he's like asking girls that are still in their high school uniforms walking if they like foreigners and if they would ever date a foreigner. And I'm like, what are you insane? Like, what is going on here? Like, what's wrong with this world? So for all I don't know, but I saw that, so I went, fuck that guy. You know, that guy was, yeah. So, but I don't want to say it. Like, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to point to other than like I told you with the camera thing. That was it. Because everybody's asking me why I look funny. Well, I didn't know the camera was on. I was waiting for it to kick in like mine does. There's a little delay and then boom, everything comes alive and you can tell it's alive. I just didn't see that. That's it. But the guy was really nice to me. It was 3.5 minutes total I met him. It was, I think you could tell he would be a very friendly guy, you know, a very nice guy. And the girls were all smitten. That I can tell you. All my staff were very smitten. He must have his way that makes girls like, they were all like, when I walked in there, you know, about him. So, yeah, he has his way with that, you know. But and then that's not a crime, right? That's not a crime. That's just is what it is. Anyway, see, this is why I shouldn't do a live stream. Just talking all over the place. When you first arrive, double or triple the $2,000 a month for the first room. Yeah, it's when you visit here, especially in the beginning. You know, you don't have the lay of the land. You don't have anything yet. It's going to be like you're a tourist. You're going to spend too much. You're always going to spend too much. You know, like you can try to do all your research ahead of time and everything, but then you're just going to be like, oh, this is funny money. You know, unless you started back in America only spending with pesos, it will start to feel like funny money until it starts to feel like real money. And so you're like, oh, that's just 50 pesos. Oh, that's just 200 pesos. Oh, that's only 500 pesos. That's only 1,000 pesos. That's under 20 bucks. Cool. And then all of a sudden these blue bills, which are the 1,000 pesos, like there's a period there where you start feeling like they're nothing, which sounds stupid because you go to the bank machine and most bank machines only give you 10 of those. It takes a while for you to be here to really like, okay, when we need something, we're going to go get that there. We're going to get that there and we'll get that there. And then you're ready for budget. You're ready for the budget life. And like when we don't go anywhere like this, if I wasn't paying the staff and stuff like that, like we're paying more people than we normally do. We're still under 1,000. We're like 800 and something for sure. Like the bill went up a bit. So that's why I'm saying something. It might be 850, even $50 a month. That doesn't count our travel. I never count my travel. And also you can see we don't really dine out. When we travel, we dine out. But we're not, even when we go to the Beaver and hang out with people, we rarely buy anything. Rarely. Every third or fourth time, get Lara something maybe. I might get a beer because of my kidneys. I'm very careful now, so once a month maybe. But most of the time I sit there, I talk to people, and then I leave. I didn't order a single thing. Catherine didn't order a thing. Lara's playing on the beach. Didn't order anything. So we're very good at keeping our budget pretty good. But when you're brand new and you come here, whoo, you're going to spend money. Thank you. I secured a house in Rojas. See you soon. Wayne, fantastic. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing you then. It's good to have choice. Exactly. And that's what I was saying about all the places to live and everything. Really like Rojas. But I have to find what I exactly want. And I'll be very, very happy. I have a good idea where I want. I already talked to them about it and everything, and may not be exactly as available, but they're like really want to keep me here, so they're trying to help me, and so we'll see if we can all work out together. There you go. Smoke. You guys seen it in the Philippines, right? They light fires all over the place, smoke out a neighborhood. They do it to keep the mosquitoes out. Yeah, church tours are pretty cool. Some of the churches here are so beautiful. Crazy history. You know, some of the best history stuff I've heard came from church tours. Like the one in Miagao is one of the oldest churches. And that one there, the Spanish priest that came over there, he like, even though he's the priest, he like impregnated so many different women. And it was like this whole thing that like so many people are descendants of him that he like populated that area quite a bit. It might be, I might be wrong, it might be San Joaquin, but it's not Miagao. It's the San Joaquin Church. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. And so like you can get the whole history from them. They can explain the whole thing. And like he was a womanizer priest. And like a lot of different lines came just from him and everything. Like crazy stories. But you get from going around to see all those churches. You just met you here. Thanks for being real. Your family rocks. Thank you very much. Prayers all the time. Fantastic. I'm an American. I lived in Japan for the last 26 years. Wow. My Japanese pension is not going to cut it here. I bet. I'm looking to move to the Philippines in the next 5 to 10 years. Any advice for planning? Well, 5, 10 years, everything's going to change so dramatically. Like think about the Philippines 5, 10 years ago did not look like it is now. Did not cost what it looks like right now. Like, are you an American? Yeah. So you can't buy land ahead of time, you know, in a condo, like you don't know how they're going to maintain it. So in 10 years, is the condo going to be there? Even good value, going to be there. If you're not going to be able to live in it, I wouldn't prepare for any of that. That's for sure. In Japan, like, man, the bond market and everything there. It's a tough time right now very difficult time. Nobody knows what's going to happen in Japan right now. America's propping it up, but oof. It's a long time, my friend. It's a long time. It's hard to plan something that far out other than save your money. I think you're going to find that Japan's going to feel like a ghost town compared to the Philippines. Philippines is full of life. They have so many kids here, right? Where in Japan, I think almost nobody has kids anymore, so it feels like a ghost town. The elderly are getting older, and there's like, you know, it's funny because Vietnam felt like that too. Vietnam feels like a ghost town. Here, it just feels like everything's busy. There's stuff, there's people. But Philippines has one of the youngest populations in the world. I think it's the average age is in its 20s or something, right? Something like that. I'd have to look that up. But in Vietnam, they mandatory by law school, and in the Communist Party runs that place, right? So it's extremely strict there, where you don't see everybody has a purpose, everybody has a place. So there's no just people hanging around doing nothing. There's no kids running around. They're all in school, and they're in school extremely long, and then the studying after all that and everything. Oh, it's incredible. What was I going to check? I forgot. But anyway, it felt like a ghost town. But you come to the Philippines, it's like, whoa. Even though the Philippines birth rate is dropping dramatically, I think they say that in Manila now, a woman in Manila will produce 1.7. So that means, you know, with a partner, that they're not even replacing anymore. So the whole world's changing fast. And that's going to be a problem because Philippines was one of the few places where everybody thought they were going to get all of the population from, you know, but no, it might just be, I think India and Africa are the only places left in the whole world right now where the population's actually growing. I think Poland is trying to get by offering all kinds of incentives, but is it going to be enough? I don't know. I'm trying to fix that so the narrow one. So I don't know any other advice to tell you because it's so far out. If you're that far out, I don't know how they can be. Can you flush toilet paper over your? Of course. Of course. We do. We have septic, but yeah, we do. Oh, look, we're getting near the end. Oh no, it didn't. Ugh.
For me, you can actually save. Going to the Philippines meaning yeah, nothing wrong with saving. We might be visiting the Beaver sometime at the end of December. Will you be there? That's the only thing I can't tell you. Christmas and New Year's, we're still figuring out. The second Sunday of every month, we make sure we're here. So if you want to guarantee from me, right around that second Sunday, it could be. I'll probably be there the Saturday. I'll probably be there the Monday, for sure the Sunday, and that way, if you want to make a plan, exactly, do it that way if you can. Everything else, I can't tell you that far out right now, especially not Christmas. It's just so hard away. 2 hours away from Ottawa and 2.5. Oh, Vermont. Thank you very much. Thank you. How are y'all doing, Mike? Great. We learned so much from the show. Hey, thank you very much. Thank you for the insights. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm Mike. Hello from Abu Dhabi. We might be visiting Canadian Beaver sometime at the end of December. Oh, yeah, you just asked that. Well, that was a weird pain. Good thing it was on this side. Keep up the great content. Thank you very much. Oh, Malloy West. Thank you very much. Thank you. Why you changed the name? Thank you, brother. Appreciate the content. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I did tell people I was leaving. Good. Thank you. I was doing it. Where are you going to? I'm not going anywhere. I got some work to do. Oh, I'm going to probably go and see a guy's house up here, but yeah, just get my voice back. I can't talk forever. Everything goes eventually. Yeah, that's another option. But you can't as a tourist. You can't have Phil Health if you're a tourist. So if you marry a Filipina, you become you get your SRV, that kind of thing. Become a permanent resident here, then you can get the Phil Health. It won't hurt, especially if you're healthy, right? If you're healthy, you can just go to a provincial hospital. It's going to be something probably like, oh, I broke my arm, I broke my leg, and they'll patch up, no problem. It'll be a big deal. They'll run the X-ray and everything. Japan is so great, though. I just don't think they knew what they were getting into. You can't be a nationalist country and have a low birth rate. Oh, yeah. That is true. That is true. Anyway, guys, thank you. I know there's a few I probably messed around along the way, but I want to thank you all for coming. I appreciate you very much. Looking forward to putting out another video very soon. Like I said, we're going to go see this guy's house. I've been going back to Estancia to go see this guy's really cool life in Estancia, where the solar, and he even powers the neighbors. But I'll give you some hints. He's not married, so he's doing all this for a girlfriend. But then again, she already bought the land, so it'll be interesting. Anyway, that's in 2 days. We're going to be filming that. And as soon as Catherine gets better, we'll be able to do a lot further away stuff than we're doing right now. And that's important. Okay. So thank you. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for the super chats, the members, the subscribing, and all that stuff. Really appreciate all of you guys. And I am going to go get my voice back and get actual coffee and get some other work done. Thanks for joining. You guys are all awesome. Thank you. ThatParadiseLife.com. All the free info that I have to offer for anybody who needs help coming to the Philippines. There's tons of stuff on there that's free. And tplbuy.com if you're looking for rentals, houses, or anything. Everything's free again. Free to list and free if you're looking for rentals. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Just like Hurley says, thumbs up, folks. Thumbs up. Costs nothing. It's free of charge. It's not bad, eh? Listen to the crashing waves.
All right, you guys are still there. Uh-oh, microphone fell down there. Yeah, the microphone fell. Fell on the sand. Sorry, guys, I blew on. Lara wants to say hi. We're going to the camera.
Ouch. Ouch.
I'm trying to hold you in the mic. Look at this. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining.
See you later.
See you later.
Alligator.
Yeah.
Alligator. See you,
Alligator.
see you later, alligator.
See you later, alligator.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, guys. Oh, gotta turn it. Which way do I have to turn it to keep you in it?
Hi, Daddy.
There you go.
Ooh,
Woo.
I can
Mommy's
see.
starting to get better, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yep, mommy's starting to get better. Okay. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
There we go. Gotta put you in. See you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Ouch. Ouch. I don't have
After a while, crocodile. Bye-bye.